Hi guys, welcome back to Alpha Talk Podcast. Got some lovely guests today. Another debate show for you guys. Let's jump right into it. Let's get it, guys.
Getting paid. Why you gotta be here?
Hi guys, welcome back to Alpha Talk. Topic of the day is a man upgrading or downgrading by being with you? I'm gonna start off with my guest. Introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you.
Who's going first?
You can go first.
So I'm called Kaylee Castle. I'm from England, and I teach women how to break free from toxic cycles, and I specialize in women who are attracted to narcissists and abusive relationships.
Okay. And you?
My name is Lady Ace. I am an artist, a musician, rapper, and a public speaker.
Okay. And where you from?
Oh, I'm from Rhode Island, but I live in Houston.
Okay. All right, guys. So topic of the day is a man upgrading or downgrading by being with you? And we have a late guest. I'm gonna put her on right now. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Oh, it's me?
Yeah, I'm
Hi.
waiting on you. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself. We're live.
Hi. Hello, guys. I'm Negist. I'm from Ethiopia, currently living in Italy, and I'm a student.
Okay. Awesome. So, ladies, the topic of the day is a man upgrading or downgrading with you? Let's start off with you, Kay.
Absolutely upgrading. Where's my crown? The wrong thing to say if I was saying downgrading. Jesus, that wouldn't be very nice, would it? But if you would have asked me that question 2 or 3 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to answer it. But I've spent over £20,000 on coaches, mentors, courses, trying to figure out why I was attracted to bare minimum men, and that's who I found attractive. And it's, I've invested that money and time to make sure that I feel better about myself. So now I would definitely say, it's upgrading. I've put that time and energy into myself, and I expect the same from a man.
So, but I don't think you understand my question. I said, is a man upgrading or downgrading by being with you? You literally just said, yeah, by being with you. Like, is he upgrading or downgrading by being with you specifically? Not what you've done to upgrade yourself.
No, I'm saying because I've done all that work, he's upgrading to be with me because I've put that work into myself. Does that make sense?
Okay. Go ahead, official lady.
Ace.
Is a man upgrading or downgrading by being with you?
You want the short answer or the long answer?
Keep it brief, and then give me an explanation. I want to know why.
Yes. Yes. I would say as long as me and the man that I'm with are in alignment with each other, absolutely.
Okay. Explain that. Give me some more detail.
So, for example, when I say an alignment, are our core values the same? Are our beliefs the same? Do we have similar goals?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean.
Okay, Miss Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Is a man upgrading or downgrading by being with you?
Okay, my question is upgrading and downgrading regarding what? Like, is that in his life or like in
his
life?
His life. Is his life going to get better or worse by being with you?
Good question. If you're in a relationship and like this romantic relationships, if you have a successful and healthy relationship, that can be a positive input in your life. So if a guy has a good relationship with me, It means he has something more to enjoy in his life. So it will be a good relationship.
But what exactly about you will make him like? I'm trying to figure out specifically. What about
There is
you?
nothing special about me if he wants me and if I want him, and if we love each other, and then if we're willing to work on the relationship and keep it healthy and good, that will be a good input in the relationship.
Okay, so Kay, what about you specifically? Makes a man, since you've done the work, you spent a lot of money on coaches and stuff like that. Why now is a man's life going to be better with you?
So in terms of, I don't know if you are aware of the Hawkins scale of energy. I don't know if that's something you're aware of. So there's a scale, your emotions have an energy, and my energy is vibing extremely high. So a man that comes into my life, I'm going to be, the man that I attract in, we attract like for like, you attract who you are, not what you want. But by being in my energy, just by being in my energy, he's going to improve his life. It should improve his, biologically, and in terms of his confidence, his energy, his zest for life, like by being around me, because I feel so great, that's going to be infectious, and he's going to have that. So to be able to be in my life, he gets to plug into my energy, and therefore like my life source, and that will improve his life just from being in my energy. But then in terms of what I bring, in terms of what I bring to a relationship, I know that if I'm going to invest, if I'm going to be with a man, that the reason I'm with that man is because I've got faith in him and his what he wants to achieve, and therefore want to help him achieve those. If that makes sense, or maybe not help, but support. And so therefore, he's getting a lot of benefits.
So let me ask you this. So it sounds like you think that he's getting the better end of the stick by being in your life. Like he's getting the reward by dating you. Is that so?
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
so? How so? Like why is my life, why am I rewarded for dating you? Like what a guy, you're the prize. So you're saying you're the prize in the relationship, technically.
Yeah, I think I believe that women are the prize.
Explain why.
Because so in terms of the research that I've done, I follow a guy called John Gray, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Mm-hmm.
And so in terms of biology, DNA, the things that if men are in their masculine energy and things that men want, a man that's in his masculine energy should see the woman as the prize.
I'm losing. You're losing me. I'm confused. How exactly?
How exactly?
How exactly are you the prize in the relationship where you're not the initial provider, and who's more replaceable? Like if we're looking at if we're looking at tangible things, right? Not what we feel and believe, right? Who's more replaceable in a healthy relationship? The guy your dreams.
I don't work in tangible. I work in energy.
Yeah, so but that's not realistic. Like so,
it is realistic.
No, it's not. So here's why. Because your energy is based on things that you believe in, but it's not the forefront of what you need to bring to satisfy a man or to pull a man away from other women. So like when we're looking at who's the prize, if you're gonna deal with a guy, he needs to feel like dating you is gonna be the best thing for him than another woman. So and just because you have
how I feel about myself, that comes down to my energy.
That's a good part. That's a good thing to believe, right? You should always love.
If I don't believe that I'm the prize, and I don't think that he's upgrading with me, if I don't believe that, how's he going to believe that?
No, it's not so much that you believe you're the prize. It's just being realistic and understand that a man of worth, right? A man that you want is going to be the prize in a healthy relationship. If he's going to be the provider, the leader, he's less replaceable than you. It's a lot harder to find a man of worth.
Okay.
Than to find a woman that is just beautiful.
Who plugs into who? Who plugs into who?
What do you mean plugs into? What does that mean?
Who plugs into who? So when we're having a relationship, we got a man and a woman. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so we'll just use images.
You can say.
Who plugs into who?
Who sticks their penis inside of the woman?
Yeah. So I don't
How
know.
How does
So
that make you the
because
prize?
in terms of energy, who's putting it into the other? You plug into us. You plug into our
But
energy.
we're the ones with the life force. You just foster this life force.
No, no, no. You plug into us. That's how I. That's
I
how
know
I
we have the life force and we give it to you to create our family. So if anything, we're definitely the prize. We want to look at energy. I'm giving you a life force that you can now create. With your explanation, the man is definitely the prize. He can create life.
No, that's not my belief. I get where you're coming from, and I get it, but I don't. I just this is a thing. So I believe in quantum science, and so quantum science is we all live in our own reality. Everything what you believe and what I believe can live simultaneously because what happens in your world and what happens in my world is different. But in my world, women are the prize.
But see, I'm not somebody that I don't want to get this confused. I'm not somebody that says I think men are the prize just because men are the prize. I'm holding men accountable as well, saying you have to do certain things to be the prize as a man. But I'm also realistic, right? If we're looking at life, right, a man in a healthy relationship must be the prize for you to even pick him. Women notoriously do not, right, have kids with men they don't see as better than them. This is how we all survived and got to where we are. Our moms picked a man that she felt was going to help us survive.
It's not about being better. It's about men and women a polarity. How can we be better than each other when we bring to something completely different to the table? We can't out better each other because, in terms of, I see it as men should see women as a prize purely down to primal needs. If a man isn't wanting to, a man first of all appreciates what he invests in. He values what he invests in. He's not going to invest in something that he doesn't see as a prize. Just like, it's a case of your drive in life. The hormones and chemicals released in a man are different to a woman. And I get when you're saying realistic, but women, we work in energy and men are realistic. That's the polarity. You bring in the logic side, you bring in the realistic side, you ground us, but we are the life force and the energy. And together we create the yin and the yang. That's what makes the energy go around. But without each other, it's not one, it's not whole.
Right. So,
But
but
for a
would you
man to
agree?
be with a woman, he needs to see, I believe that he needs to see her as the prize because men fear commitment, and he's not going to want to commit to something that he doesn't see as like a badge of honor or something that is like, that he's attained and that he's won.
So this is the way men date. Men don't date based on a woman that we think is better. We date on a woman that brings us the most peace. Women date on a man that is better. This is how women notoriously pick men. A man who's taller, smarter, more intelligent, can provide better. Like a woman's mating strategy is to find a man that is just overall better. A man's mating strategy is to find a woman that can add to my life and bring me the most happiness as I go and conquer the world. So yes, we do have our separate, powers in relationships, granted so, but in a healthy relationship, a woman would not pick a man that she does not feel is capable. Like capability is
Yeah, absolutely. I want a man that knows that he's got, he wants to grow, he wants to achieve, and he wants to, and I provide the energy that allows him to do that.
okay.
Or the support at least.
Official lady,
You
yes.
can just call me
A?
Ace.
Ace. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, who's the prize in a healthy relationship?
Okay, so I don't want to say that there's one person who is more of a prize than the other person. I believe that if the relationship is healthy, both people are providing and should be providing equal value.
Okay. So the thing about life is nothing can ever be equal.
I don't believe in equality.
There's nothing ever equal, right? And I'm gonna explain that. I'm gonna briefly. Let me let Miss Ethiopia give me her thoughts, and I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I do agree with Ace. I feel like since they both wanted this, and then since they both wanted to be in a relationship and celebrate their love and stuff, both are the prize. And then with her saying bringing like equal things, it doesn't have to be exactly with equal value, but equitable things, providing equitable values into the relationship.
Yeah, can I
Right.
add to what she's saying? So just to add to that, when I say equal value, I don't mean like, okay, 50-50 on the bills, things like that. So equal value as in if a man desires to have this and a woman desires to have this, how are we going to deliver both of these things to each other? That's how we are both adding value to each other's lives rather than just one person. Okay, so the man is providing, but the woman isn't doing anything to be provided for. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Right. So here's why nothing is equal. All right. Let me ask you ladies this. Who is required to know more about the other sex?
I feel like we should both know.
But
Yeah.
no, we should what we should and what we feel, and all of these things are great. But who is required to know more about the other sex? Who's required to not only approach the other sex, court the other sex, lead to sex, right? Foster a relationship. Who's required that between men and women?
Traditionally men, but we are
Right.
living in different times now.
Okay, but we're talking about even in different times, any
Mhm.
man that you're gonna go out with has to have a good understanding of women to be successful with you.
Yes.
So more is required from men, right? In order for us to have successful relationships than is required from women.
Mhm.
All right. All a woman has to do, there's nobody really teaching women how to keep a man, right? There's no, this is how you approach a man, this is how you sleep with a man. You just wait and be chose.
Right.
More is required from a man.
Because we
Right.
are the prize.
No. When you have more responsibility, you're the prize. Let me explain that to you. The more responsibility you have, the more of a prize you are because you're expected to do something. When there's no expectations, that's when you're not the prize. When there's expectations, so let me
Well, we
give
chose it.
you another analogy.
Chose
Let me give you another analogy, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're a star soccer player. You are the star. A star soccer player, anybody who's a star in this world, is expected to do what? Produce, to win. The more expectations you have that are put on you, the more of a prize that you are.
Yeah, but he wins. He's not the prize. He wins the prize.
No.
So a star athlete,
No. When he becomes
the goal, or he wins the trophy, or he wins the top of the charts, or whatever it is in that sport. He's not the prize. He wins the prize.
No, he doesn't. You win him because he has to compete. Let me break this down for you. For a man to be a successful man, right? He has to be confident. He has to dress well, be good looking. He has to do all these things to be a man that women didn't pick. But when he becomes that man, he now has his options with women. This is why a select few of men have the most options with women. This is why you see celebrities and superstars, they can pretty much have any woman they want to. If you flip that, women who are extremely successful in the world, right? Even celebrity women, they still have to wait to be picked by a man of equal value. So you can be Beyonce, but that doesn't mean you could just date anybody. You still have to date a Jay-Z who's a billionaire. So even though a woman is extremely successful, she still has to wait. She still has to wait to be picked by a successful man. There's more expectations.
I don't think that's happening right now in the era we live in. Women do approach, women do go after the man they want and stuff. As she said, the traditional way is for a woman to be there and then be approached. That's because the misogynistic society where we live in, if you approach a man, if you don't let him chase you, and then if he doesn't work for it, we have this assumption he won't appreciate you, because men want the chase, they want the hard work for it and stuff, because women used to be seen as a prize, not a person with a consent. But nowadays, that's not what we're doing. If I like a guy and then I want him, I'll go after him. If a guy wants a girl and then he want to be with her, he will approach her. There is no a general term that men approach or women don't approach, and then woman is the only one approaching and stuff.
Let me explain something to you. That guy that you're approaching, right? Guess what he has to be for you to approach him? He has to separate himself from other men. He has to be good looking. He has to stand out, right? He can't be a regular guy and be approached by women.
Well, but that's subjective. because
Exactly.
my type is different from her type. She might like regular men. I don't.
Okay.
So
What do you so let's talk about it. What do you like?
physically or
What is your ideal type of man? Describe him.
That's a good question. I'm sure I won't get all the points out, but off the top of my head, I would say my ideal man is a. I was watching one of your videos, and I definitely agree with this: a decisive man, a man who knows what he wants in his life, a man who knows what he wants as far as his career, who has goals, who is ambitious, knows how to court and treat a woman as a woman, knows how to treat other people because it's deeper than just how you treat me; it's how you treat the world. Um,
Okay.
a man who knows how to communicate. Communication is so important for me as a Libra. So I love communication. I appreciate communication.
So slow down real quick. You
Yes.
just described an ambitious, driven man. Guess what other women want? An ambitious, driven man. Y'all want the same things from a man.
The basic things, right?
But those basic things are not so basic because not every man has it.
That's true.
Right.
But
So y'all, but
hold on.
hold on. No. This is why, right? Only 1 out of 3 men are having sex.
Mhm.
You ladies are the ones who are cutthroat and you only sleep with a certain amount of guys. You
Right.
only pick the guys who are the winners.
Mhm.
And y'all are all picking the winners.
The thing is, though,
Biology.
the thing is, again, back to it being subjective because some women don't want to live a lavish, crazy lifestyle. Some women just want a regular man that they can have, a $300 house, a $300,000 house, or even an apartment. But I know,
$300,000 house.
but seriously, I know it sounds crazy, but some women really want that.
Okay,
And
but
maybe
$300,000 house, sweetheart, is not something that is cheap.
I mean, to me, it seems like because that's what my goals. That's what my
$300K, $300,000. What percentage of men in the world are making $300,000 a year to be able to afford a home?
But do you see the point that I'm making? Some people don't want, a millionaire, a billionaire. Some people want a man that has $100,000 job or, a $50,000 job. Some women want that and they're okay with that because in their eyes, that man is still working hard to get what he wants out of life.
Right. And guess what would happen if they can make their man a little bit richer, they would. So if every woman that you're describing could have her man be as successful as the guy that you have or the guy that you want, every woman would pick that guy every single time. Does that mean that guy will pick her? No, it does not. If all of you ladies had a choice, would you or would you rather not, right? Pick a guy who's successful, loves you, takes care of you, and can provide. Let's start with Kay.
It's not a conscious choice. So it's all subconscious. Like, so your subconscious brain controls 95% of your behavior. It's pre-programmed by the time you're 5 years old, and your blueprint is whatever your parents are. And unless you consciously become aware of that, you think you're choosing Mr. Man who's got tattoos, has a nice car or whatever, but it's got nothing to do with that. It's to do with his energy and coming at the same frequency. So if you're an insecure woman, you will attract insecure men. If you are a woman that values herself, loves herself, has self-worth, you will attract a man who has the same. It's a frequency thing. So many people are going around in life at the moment thinking that we are choosing people on Tinder by their faces or whatever. It's got nothing to do with it. It's all to do with how you was raised as children and your subconscious behavior. And unless you are aware of that, you think you've got choices, but you don't. And that's why you're not with, you might still be single, or something keeps happening, or you find yourself in a pattern, or you're attracting the same sort of guy or the same sort of woman. Because it's all down to your blueprint. It's all down to whatever you were taught to do. Because it's down to biology and it's down to.
Okay. Let me stop you there. I think that women pick men the correct way. Right? I think a woman's biology is to find a guy who is the strongest, most suitable guy that can help her offspring survive. This is why women pick the better looking guy.
If she's from a healthy if she's from a secure, attached family. If she's not, she will seek out whatever she was taught to seek out, whatever her mum did pre-5, if her dad was in and out of her life, if he wasn't around, if the attachment wasn't around, which is attachment theory, which is a book called Attached, which is a big part of it, but there's 20 years of research. it's all down to whatever your parents were, and this is why you have your conscious brain, which controls 5%, that thinks that you're picking XYZ, but actually it's the subconscious. And so yes, I agree with you in the sense of women we think that we want these but they're the women who've done the work. If you haven't done the work, a lot of the time you're seeking out the wrong, what you perceive as strong or whatever, but the guy's got, no emotional intelligence. He's normally emotionally unavailable. He's normally insecure, and it's all about the body and the.
Okay, so this is the unfortunate reality.
Good.
This is the unfortunate reality. All right, picking a man based on his energy or the energy levels that you feel align with yours.
It's not conscious. It's not a conscious choice.
No, it's very conscious. Women pick. So let me explain to you why it's very conscious. Women deliberately.
You're arguing human science.
I'm telling you what women pick repeatedly over since lifetime. Right? Women have picked taller, more fit.
I've got a group of 4,000 women who are all single, and I can tell you right now that they're picking not those men. They consciously want those men.
Let me explain something to you, Kay.
Because they got a shit blueprint.
Let me explain something to you. The reason why you're here is because your ancestors, right? There was a woman who picked a strong man who can help raise your ancestors so you can be here.
Yeah, and consciously I want to pick that, and consciously that's what I used to think. I consciously wanted that man, but that isn't the man. I was always like, I want the strong, ambitious, driven man, but I always got the weak shit man who was a narcissist or insecure or had issues. And I'm like, yeah, but why can't I get this guy? Why am I always attracting this guy? Right? So consciously I knew what you just said. I wanted the same man as my ancestors, but that isn't what I was getting. And I was like, why am I still getting the same man over and over again? When it's, I can lose weight, I can make myself, it's got nothing, it was down to the fact that subconsciously, which controls my behavior, I didn't think I deserved that because of my blueprint from my attachment with my parents. I didn't feel lovable. I didn't feel like I deserved love. So therefore, my subconscious, to keep me safe, seeks that in. And until you're aware of that, you will constantly strive for something, but it doesn't mean you'll achieve it.
Right. So this is the thing. That's what I mean when I say women pick. What a woman is looking for in a man is correct. I just don't think that a lot of women know how to keep men. So what you just described was you were not properly versed in how to keep a man, meaning you have to do work on yourself. What you were picking was correct, but how to keep the man that you want.
It's not about keeping the man. It's about how I feel about me. I believe in quantum science that everything is a reflection of you. You attract who you are, not what you want. Therefore, if I think I'm amazing, if I do the work on me, then my outside world is a reflection.
That's not reality. Because
that is reality. That's
no. Let me explain to you why it's not. Because how you feel and how others view you, the value that you bring to their life is totally different. It's great to have self-confidence and to love yourself. But at the end of the day, you're still trying to attract the opposite sex. So what the opposite sex wants from you, you have to be able to understand. This is why I say women have the leisure of not understanding.
You've got to understand how a man works. That's right. Why.
But that's what I'm saying. This is why I mean women have the leisure of not having to understand these things about men and still have a dating life. Men don't have a choice. Do you understand, Kay, that 1 out of 3 men have not been laid in over a year? Men 18 to 25, 18 to 30 at this point. 2/3 of men are not even having sex.
We're all the men, the world's fucked, and they're being raised by parents from where the attachments are mess. Because
no. But the women are sleeping with one third of the guys.
They want consciously they want XYZ or what the media is telling them, but subconsciously they were raised right. In England, it's normal to send a 6-month-old baby to childcare and it be raised by other people. And we're being.
What I'm saying is this. What you're explaining is that, hey, if the energy is correct, right, I'm going to attract what I am. And what I'm telling you is that is not the reality that men and women are facing. This is why, hear me out. Listen up. Listen. This is why 1 out of 3 men are not having sex. Because they can feel however the fuck they want to feel.
Consciously is insecure. Yes, no, okay, at the gym or whatever, and he looks great.
You're not listening.
Got money, but what's going on subconsciously? What's going on?
Women are sleeping with more men. They're only sleeping with a specific group of men. So the women are still having sex. The men are not having sex.
So does
Why?
men, though.
What?
So does men. Like men are, as you say, our ancestor picked the toughest one, the strongest one, or the tallest one and stuff. So does your ancestor pick the pretty one with the bigger hips that will give him lots of children and then stuff. It's not different.
Okay.
And also, not every girl, not every girl is there sitting just to be chosen or to be picked. But also men go after the ones which they find attractive too. It's not like they go after everyone who they don't think is conventionally pretty or conventionally has the ideal body and stuff. Those women are not still getting laid too, first of all. And also, the other reason is like we have to differentiate the part that we have the animalistic, like the survivor and stuff, and also the part that where we have our own preferences, different from our, like as she said, maybe subconscious or animalistic side. For instance, my preference is not the tallest one, is not the successful one. Being successful is very subjective too. For instance, me, I want someone who I can communicate well with regarding the things I like, regarding the things he like, and then regarding our relationship and stuff. My other type is like someone who can carry an an intellectual conversation, and
Okay.
someone I can laugh with, like a sense
Let me pause you.
of humor, not ambition or courage and other stuff.
Let me slow you down for a second. Let me slow you down for a second. All right. If you go and pick men based on those criteria, what you're gonna have is a relationship down the line where the man can't provide, but he was able to stimulate your emotions. He made you feel good about yourself. And this is why a lot of marriages end in divorces, right? You would rather pick the man that is less than because he makes you feel better than to pick the better man for your offspring. So you should not, as a woman, pick a man that can just make you laugh, who's not ambitious, who's not these things, because these things are, if you have a child with him, he has to raise these children. So this is where the ambition comes in. This is where the leadership comes in. Your feelings and him making you feel good is not going to put food on the table for your children. So that is a
First of
horrible
all,
way to
I
start
don't
it.
wait for a man to provide for me.
Okay,
I'm working, I'm a student, and I'm gonna provide for myself. Wait, providing and then providing things for my survival and stuff, that's my job. That's not something I will be wanting from a man. It's
how
subjective.
old are you?
Some people might want a millionaire, a billionaire, someone they can provide them for, or they want to be a trophy wife, but not me. Me,
Okay, how old are
as
you?
I say, my preference is the other one. I would like to provide for myself. I have me, my career and stuff for the financial status. And then regarding children, I don't want to have a child. So again,
Okay,
the man won't be needed to raise a child with me and stuff.
how old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. At,
Wait till you're 30.
at 24 years old, Miss Ethiopia, you've decided that you're gonna pick a man, right? And he's not gonna get any kids from you, all right?
Yeah.
But he's not gonna get kids from you, but he should still pick you, right? As the woman that he wants to be a part of his life. Doesn't that sound kind of selfish? I'm not gonna give him any children. I'm gonna be more focused on my career. I'm gonna put my career over family, but I still want a man to take me seriously.
But what about
So that's
if
where the preference comes. Sorry for interrupting you. There are so many men out there who doesn't want to have children as well. So I'll be a right fit for that person.
and
Okay,
what about isn't it selfish when a man chooses a woman based off of, will she be able to provide me children? What if she doesn't want to have children? But then again, but that goes into
no.
again the core values. We have
No.
to have similar core values.
So
Exactly.
let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you guys about how men think, how life is, right?
Wait,
No.
wait, wait.
Y'all stop.
Where
Y'all stop.
does it
Y'all
come from?
How men think.
Where does it come from?
Stop.
When you explain
Because
it, where does it come from?
so this is the problem, right? Men never have a chance to explain how we think, but we need to understand how you guys think to be able to be successful with women. That's not fair, right? If you don't understand how men think, you're never going to be successful with men.
I've literally studied it for like that is what John Gray is like one of the biggest selling authors of all time, and there's lots of other psychologists out there, therapists out there who will teach you exactly. The book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus is exactly that. It explains to you that men and women are completely different. We have different needs, different
But we
ways
need to understand each other to have successful relationships.
So there are women out there who do want to. When I read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, I realized for the past 15 years, I have was not doing the right thing with men. I was chasing, I was being over, asking them to, be emotional with me too much. I was doing everything what this book says is wrong. And yes, okay, one book isn't right, but there's a reason why it's sold, millions and millions and millions of copies, and it's one of the best-selling books worldwide.
The reason is, listen. Okay. Women love to hear what sounds good. This is the problem with a lot of ladies. This is how these men, these fraudsters can come on the internet and tell you what sounds good, and you soak it up because yes, screw the men, this and this. But when we come down to reality, a man needs to understand a woman to have a successful relationship with women, and women need to understand men to have a successful relationship with men. This is what I mean when I say guys need to understand how men think. When a man is in this world, he's busting his butt. When he's trying to leave a legacy, most men, successful men, are going to want children.
Yeah, I get
if
that.
He's worked hard to be this guy that you want. It's not selfish that he's bust his ass and been neglected. And then when he finally wants to have a family and raise a family, you tell him, oh, nah, I want to focus on my career more.
Well, that's why you guys should know before then. You guys should establish what it's going to be and what it's not going to be before he's already worked so hard to provide a life for you, and now you popping up like, I don't want kids. That's not fair.
Okay, great. So do you see why, as a woman, that is not a good mating strategy for you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. And that's why communication is so important. When you start getting serious with somebody, you have to let them know, do you want kids? What are you willing to play this role? Are you willing to do X, Y? You know what I'm saying? These are
okay. That's perfect. Let's talk about something. Miss Ethiopia. So you don't want kids. What is your legacy going to be when you die? What do you want your legacy to be?
That's the thing. There's no legacy. In life, you put your own purpose and meaning, and then the living style for your life by yourself. And me, I don't feel like there is, how do I say this? There is this legacy or something I have to transfer from my generation to the second generation, from my family and stuff. I want to live life and leave.
That sounds great. Let's talk about it now. Let's go deeper into what you just said.
Sure.
Right? You don't want to transfer your legacy into other life or whatever. So, but you would rather give your one life to a corporate job or a financial institution instead of the kids that you can give to the world.
Good.
Do you see what I'm saying?
No, I'm not gonna give it for a corporate world or something. I'm gonna give it to myself. Do whatever I want till life. Live my life to the fullest. And then,
Okay, what does that consist of? You're still, if you're having to provide for yourself, your time, your energy, and your youth is going to where? You have to work for somebody. You're studying, right? Or you're in school. You're giving this time and energy into a corporate organization, a financial institution, a university. You're giving them your best self instead of your own seed.
No, I want that. I do that because I want to do it too. That's the thing. Okay. I was in law school. Okay.
Just because you want it does not mean it's correct. Let me help you debunk. Let's go deeper into why
you said just because you want it doesn't mean it's what?
Doesn't mean that it's the best thing for you.
Okay.
So let's explain.
What's it for me. That's how it works.
No. That's not. No.
What?
This is how the modern woman has been led astray.
Okay.
Let me explain to you guys how feminism started.
Listen, I'm anti-feminism. I am not.
Let me explain to you guys how feminism started. Right?
Don't put me in that bracket.
Okay, not you, but Miss Ethiopia. This was the sole purpose of feminism. The sole purpose of feminism and women's liberation was to remove women from the homes and tax you more. And put your kids to be indoctrinated by the state. Mm-hmm. So you were encouraged to leave your family unit, to trade your youth, right, to a corporate office that so to make you feel like you're more liberated by doing so.
Now that I agree with.
First of all, that's not the point of feminism. Feminism gives choice to women
No,
regarding
we
what
already
they
have
want to
choice.
do, regarding their life. If they want to have kids, they will have kids. If they don't
No,
want to have
no.
kids, they want to get
Research
married,
long
they
enough.
will get married. That's it. I mean,
Research it long
you're
enough to go
have
back
a
to
very
Harry.
general and not right definition for it.
Okay,
And
okay,
second
one at
of
a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time.
and
Miss Ethiopia
second of
finish
all,
speaking, and then K.
sorry. Okay.
Go ahead, Miss
Sorry.
Ethiopia.
Yeah, and then second of all, it's like I'm not giving myself for a corporate or capitalist companies and then lose all my energy and everything in there.
Mhm.
I am still in touch with my family. I do spend a lot of time with my family. I have my friends. I just do what I want in life, not just, you know, go with the flow or regarding capitalism or regarding getting a family or the other things. I'm
Okay,
not
go ahead, K.
sacrificing
I'm
my
gonna get back
youth
to
for
you.
corporate things or for
I'm,
financial things. I am
I'm,
living my life.
I'm gonna get back to you, and then K, what you want to say?
First of all, I'm anti-feminism. So, because I agree with exactly what you say. The core, yes, okay, there are women who, in over years, have tried to change feminism, but the core start of feminism, what it was created for, was exactly what you've just said. Like, I agree with that, and I believe that my belief. I'm not saying that this is correct. This is my belief that our sole purpose is to have children. Like for me, like if any woman that says she don't want kids, any man that says he don't want kids is down to something within the blueprint. But within your DNA, we are here to procreate. Like that's what animals do. We come, we create life. Like that's so for me. I'm like that's
Okay,
my two
let
pence.
me let me get back to Miss Ethiopia. So you living your life is gonna consist of what? Dating who you want to date, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Bringing on a lot of trauma into your life, and not having kids to leave a legacy with, but working to the day you die. Right. This is what women have been told, have been convinced to believe is liberation. And then when you're older, right, and you realize you made a mistake, which a lot of women who feel the same way as you are feeling right now, and you don't have as much trading value to men when you're older, you get angry and you start to hate men. So right now, right, you're taking care of yourself. Do you pay your own bills?
Yeah, I do.
Do you live by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you live comfortably? Are you doing well? Can you do whatever you want to?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So now guess what would happen if you had a man alongside that who can take care of this financial responsibility for you, right? And let you live in your true essence as a woman.
You really be free.
That's the thing. True essence of a woman is very subjective. That's the thing.
No, it's not.
You, for
It's
instance,
very, very
when you
objective.
start saying man, this is man, that's man, there are like 39.7 billion men in this world. And how are you so confident
Because that's
to
how we got here.
generalize this and
No.
say
It's not generalizing anything. The reason why we exist as human beings is because we were put on this earth to reproduce. So that's why
also
we all
that's
made it.
the other generalized definition given to being a human being.
If somebody else
Again,
didn't have sex to
subjective as
create
well.
you, you wouldn't be here. Would
I
you?
think
If everyone decided to have our opinion, we would the world would end.
Yeah, exactly. We would all be dead.
That's
None of us would be here.
That's it. No more. No
I
more.
think what the issue is
No more
that
humans? No, there are going to be people who want to have
If
sex.
everyone, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm saying if every woman decided to feel like you and like, I'm just going to be independent, I'm just going to do me, I'm just going to live my life and not have kids, then humanity ends.
that's
First of
true.
all,
But
it
the
not
thing
has
is,
to be like me. There are still going to be people who
Go ahead.
prefer to have kids.
Go ahead.
That's okay. Sorry, Abe, sorry. Yeah, you continue.
I
Hey,
think
go ahead.
what the issue is that we as people, okay, we as people are so disconnected, one from ourselves and two from each other, that we don't understand. First of all, people don't understand themselves, let alone understand the opposite sex. Okay, so it starts within the self. You have to understand who you are, what you want to do with your life. How are you going to provide to the world? And whether the world is your family, the family you're going to create, or the world at large. You know what I'm saying? So it comes down to figuring out yourself, knowing thyself. And then if you want a man or you want a woman, you need to understand how they operate. But first, you need to understand, okay, I'm a woman. How does a woman operate? Because 9 times out of 10 nowadays, women and men, we grew up in households where we were traumatized. We don't know what love is. We don't know what role a man or a woman is really supposed to play, because we've seen our dad beat on our mom, or our mom was out, in the streets, whatever. We're traumatized based off of what we went through. So now we have a tainted view of the world. Right. So now women hate men hate women. And it's just a really messed up dynamic, because we don't take the time to know what actually is a woman, what actually is a man. Because at the core of it, we're all spiritual beings, yes, but we have to really, like you were saying, study the biology of things. And like he was saying, the primal nature of a man and of a woman, and history and how we got here and our ancestors. We have to study and figure these things out in order to have healthy relationships with ourselves and with other people. Because the way Ethiopia, the way that, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but we just gonna go with Ethiopia. Right. Okay, cool. So the way that you are thinking right now, I don't disagree with you at all. But I also feel like your perspective might be coming from a lack of being educated. Like he was saying, he was trying to educate you, like, okay, so this is our primal nature. We are here to procreate. And he's not wrong in what he's saying. And your idea of having kids may change in the future. But as of right now, if you feel like this is what's best for you, then, continue to.
No, this is why I disagree.
Okay, go ahead.
This is why I disagree. Because this is the problem with women, right?
Uh-huh.
You guys don't hold each other accountable because you want to be so nice to each other. And then guess what? No.
No.
So this is how the whole world treats women. Mm-hmm. Women are coddled. Let's not hurt our feelings. Let's not do this. Men don't have that leisure. Right. If a man is a bum, if a man is a loser, I'm one of the first people to tell him, you're not going to be successful with women if you don't get off your ass and start getting in the gym, making more money, doing all this stuff. I give men the responsibility. And what I'm saying is this: as a woman, your greatest power comes when you're responsible for your own life, not when you're letting the information you've been given dictate on what you think is going to give you the best outcome. The best outcome for every woman, her greatest legacy is her children.
But the thing is that she might not be mentally there right now.
That's the problem. By the time she realizes it will be too late. Nobody's gonna save her now.
Wait.
People accountable. That's what I'm doing right now.
So many women in their 60s, in their 70s, in their 80s, and then who are so happy because they didn't have children. They chose not to have children, and then they're living their life.
That's very few women.
Where are those women? I don't know any of those women. The majority of the women in my group are in their 50s, and they come to me because they've constantly chosen, and it's like they get to like, and they're like, and I'm like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And they're like, well, I'll practically be dead because I'll be, I'm lifespan in England is like what, around 77 or something. They're thinking, and when you get to that point, it's too late.
That's true, but the thing is, not everybody. It's not. I don't think it's a bad thing to not want to have kids. I don't think
it's a preference. It's very subjective. It's very subjective.
Here's why it is a bad thing.
Here to have kids. We're here.
Me. I decided. I decided not to have. It's not the information I have. I can get all the information I want. I have got enough information and all the knowledge to have kids, but I chose not to. So it's not because I lack an information regarding this.
You're only 24. You've got literally another at least 10 years in you before when you get to, a lot. I've worked with a lot of women, and when we get to around 30, something happens chemically in the brain, just something changes, there's a shift, right? And I know Kaylee that was in when I was in my 20s, and the way I thought in my 20s is nothing like I think in my 30s.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Completely different. I understand what you're saying, that you want to put yourself first, but that's because you it's like self-sustainable. But if we all were just sustaining ourselves, humanity is never going to survive.
Yeah, but
It's
this is
gonna
the thing.
survive because there's gonna be people who wanna
This is the
do
thing.
that, who wanna have
Listen.
kids. And anyways, you should get a
Listen.
husband. Personally speaking, Kate, I think
Listen.
you needed that.
This is
I
the
need-
thing, though.
Okay,
Listen.
okay.
I'm
This is
working on
what I'm
it.
saying. This is, ladies, listen to me. This is what I'm saying. The reason why it's going to be a bad idea for you is because when you do realize you've made a mistake, it's going to be harder for you to get the man you want. So I want to ask you ladies a question. If you were to buy a product, right? Every product you buy, all goods and services cost what?
Money.
What are they? Right. There's a currency exchange for equal value. And when you're young and youthful, right? Right now, Ethiopia, right? When you're young, youthful, beautiful, this is when you have the highest bid to get the man that you really desire. The older you get, the harder childbirth becomes, right? And the harder it is for you to find the man that you actually want, that's going to give you the family that you're going to eventually want. This is why a lot of women are sad when they're older. So you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, if you wait too late to realize it, it's going to be too late, and it's going to be a lot harder for you. And you will look back and say, you know what? I remember this podcast that I was on. I should have listened to this dude. But you know what? I lived a life where I don't have nobody take care of me when I'm older. You know, I just got a lot of trauma from dating several men. You're not going to be fulfilled as a woman. And like she was saying, when you get in your 30s, late 30s, right, is something going to switch. It's called the maternal clock. Right, your body's you're gonna want to reproduce. This is what you were put on earth for. And I'm telling women, do this when you have the bigger bargaining value. Don't wait too late to try to get a man. Get a man when you're young.
So basically saying we can only get men when we're young.
No, I'm not saying that.
Or the values higher because we're younger.
Yes, it's the same thing as a man. A man's value switches, sweetheart.
I get where you go. I get a little bit of it, but I don't.
Right. The man as a man, if he's working on himself, the older he gets, he can acquire more resources that can help him take care of family. Especially now where finances are so strict that a single income household cannot even take care of one person. Talk much of two or three. So a man has to bust his ass to make himself something to be able to take care of his wife and his kids. That takes time. Women, on the other hand, you're not the person that is required to take care of the family. You're required to have youth, and men love beauty, right? This is the time you can give your family the most of your energy to raising these kids. The older you get, is going to be harder for you. And men love younger women. So the older you get, unfortunately for you women, you become a depreciating asset. It's tough to hear. Women don't want to accept it, but men have to deal with this reality. Men have to deal with this reality. Men like youth and beauty. This goes back to understanding what men want and what women want. That's like a man laughing at me saying when I tell him, "Hey, man,
I get what you're saying.
Women like successful men who are fit and can dress well." And he laughs at me. And I'm like, okay, you can laugh all you want to. You ain't gonna get no chicks. I'm telling you how men are. The men who are successful are gonna want women who are youthful and women who are beautiful.
Okay, so can I ask you a question, right? So in terms of let's flip it on you. So what is upgrading for you? So when you're out there dating, you're a stereotypically good-looking man, right? You could walk into a club and have any woman you wanted. So what do you believe for you makes you go, that's the woman I want to be my wife, but that's the one I want to take home and shag? What do you believe?
That's a perfect question. I like that question. See, as a man, he has to go through trauma to be able to understand about women.
Mm-hmm.
A man this is why men should get experience with women and women shouldn't. All right. For a man to probably pick the best woman for him, he needs to date a good amount of women so he can pick the right woman. Because if he picks the wrong woman in whatever stage he's in, that can ruin his life. If you look at ultra successful men right now in the world, right, they're getting divorces, they're losing half of their assets because they simply picked the wrong woman. They didn't understand women enough to pick the right woman for them. So for me, it's just proper vetting, but I know what to look for because I understand women and I've dated a good amount of women. A lot of guys don't have the same experience as me. That's why they listen to me.
Have you yet met that woman that you've gone for? She's a league above the rest. That one,
Yes, definitely.
right? And so, what was it about that woman that she was a league above the rest? Was it a feeling?
No.
Was it something that, or was it because she was like, oh well, actually she's got XYZ? Because in my reality, in my belief, it's down to it's all down to the subconscious, it's all down to frequency, and it's about meeting that right match. But I'd like to know what you believe.
No, so for me, it's observing behavior over time, and you're not gonna observe behavior over time in the first month. So you have to see how a woman behaves, how she reacts to problems, how she communicates, right? Those things are things that a lot of women don't learn. But some women understand them. And those are the women that the men who are successful all around are gonna pick. So it takes time for a man to pick the right woman. It can't just be about looks. It can't just be about beauty. But unfortunately, if the more successful a man becomes, the more picking he gets to do. He can do a lot more picking because now he has more options, right? He can get his base level of attraction out the way and say, okay, I understand women enough to say, okay, this girl right here has shown me behavior over time that I will want to deal with her seriously. Women, on the other hand, right? For a man to get to this level, he has to go through trauma. I don't think that trauma is needed for women to be in her essence. I don't think women should go through the same thing. I think women should work on just being as feminine, as nurturing as possible, and put yourself out there for the right man to pick you and add as much to his life as possible. That's all you really have to do. But a man on the other hand has to do a lot more to become the man that he can vet out the girls who might want to use him for his money or who might want to use him for this. He doesn't really understand women, so he just makes the bad mistake.
So your belief is that because the man has to do more of the work, that's what makes him more of a prize.
Yes, but this does not mean this.
The fact that the woman just, for me, because the fact that the woman, if she's in a feminine essence, if she, loves herself enough, if she's super secure within herself, and she knows that she's the one that attracts the man in, that's why
I'm not saying that women are not a prize.
The woman's the prize. Again, I'm talking about beliefs. I'm not saying anything's fact. Right. That's why I believe the woman's the prize, because she doesn't have to do if she's got a secure attachment, if she knows her self-worth, if she's being raised in a loving environment, and she knows that she is the bee's knees, right? She doesn't need to do fuck all.
Yeah, but that's
why does that not make
point, Kate? Because there's not much expected from you. All you have to do is.
But it's you that wants. But it's the man. So if it's a woman being in her essence that attracts that in, and she doesn't really have to do anything but be a beautiful, smelling, gorgeous, beautiful flower.
Let me explain to you.
Why does that make the man the prize?
Which is harder to get?
Get it?
Which is harder to get? Let's talk about it. All right. A man who's extremely successful, who can provide in these days, right?
Yeah.
A man who's successful, fit, handsome, all these things, or a woman who just learned to be peaceful. Which one is harder to come by?
I think both of them. No, I think both of them.
Because they're the same thing. That's the same thing.
It's not only being peaceful. There are so many things required from a woman too.
Yes.
Yes, you guys have so many unrealistic expectations from a woman too.
Listen, here you go. Women misinterpreting what men want to fuck and what men will marry are two different things.
Yes.
Right? Because you see a lot of men say, oh, we want a girl with the fattest ass and the biggest boobs and this and this. What men have sex with and who men are willing to marry are not the same thing.
Right.
So focus on being
So the marrying type that you just
already said that earlier. You were like, it's more than looks and the body, and then you said she has to communicate better, and then she has to be nurturing. She has to be
that is simple stuff. That's not that hard.
No, the reason why it's not so simple. So it is simple when you really think about it. It's simple, but it's not simple at the same time because of like we're not in a traditional time anymore. We're in the times that we are in, so it's harder to be peaceful. It's harder, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is harder to be peaceful. It's harder to understand men. It's harder to communicate with each other. These things are not as simple as they once were.
Okay, so a man, guess what? Guess what? Hold on. A man has to do what you just said and be successful, charming.
And that's not easy.
A woman does not.
Talking about majority of the people, where are the most successful women? But guys, no, it doesn't work like that. Majority of guys are not extremely successful. So if we're talking about majority of the people, you can't put being very successful in the equation, you know, because majority of guys are not extremely financially successful. That's like statistical speaking.
That's my point. That's why it's harder to achieve financial success and be able to communicate, lead, be the guy that I have to do everything that you need to know how to do and more to get a woman. That's my point.
So what was
need to be picked
about if
and I am saying you don't have to be all those things to be picked. If a girl just loves you and then wants you for your essence, she'll pick you. I mean, for your case, maybe
sweetheart,
because maybe women are not picking you, you know?
No.
I don't think that's the problem.
Love is not enough. Love is
I think
not
it's
enough.
your tight t-shirts and then the shirts that are the problem.
As a woman, your primary love needs, so what's been studied, right? Your primary love needs are your man needs to understand you, respect you, give you devotion, validate your feelings, reassure your feelings, and I've missed one out, right? So there's like 6 primary love needs that are you as just for being a woman, not your personality or who you are, but innately to your DNA. And the main core is that you need to feel safe. You need a man to make you feel safe. And so if he can't provide that financially, he's going to have to create something somewhere that creates that safety. But for the majority of the time, it does come financially. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's the main way. But what you were saying earlier about, so let me ask, right? So what you were saying earlier about the woman being in her feminine essence, she's secure, she knows, and she doesn't really she just has to be. She doesn't have to do, right? She just needs to learn to be peaceful. That's what makes her. That's what makes her attractive, right? And then you've got the guy on the opposite side who you've said he needs to be successful and he needs to be the provider, he needs to have all. Is that not the same frequency? And that's why those people attract each other.
No.
Because that's, even though it's polarity in the same essence, that's the masculine energy, that's the feminine energy. And when them two people become aligned, that's when you make a power couple. But unfortunately, most people aren't flipping swimming around.
So this is the problem.
We're progressing towards it and we're trying, but most women aren't connected. Like, just like you said, Ace, we're disconnected from ourselves, we're disconnected from each other. And it's our internal, in my world, in quantum physics, your internal world is a reflection of your external. Work on you, know what's going on inside here to the fullest, to the max, and you will eventually find that peace and you will attract in that man. And with the man does the internal work, the same will happen. It's frequency.
No. This is why
it's not experience. It's frequency. It's like chewing through a radio.
Listen to me. This is why that's not completely correct, right? A man has to become. So this frequency that you're stating, right?
Quantum physics. It's quantum. I'm talking about.
Congratulations.
I'm not talking woo-woo. I'm talking quantum physics.
That's perfect. But guess what?
Scale of energy.
Guess what? If a man is below average, if he's not good looking, if he hasn't made a name for himself, men have to compete against each other to be attractive to all women. A woman just has to be her best version to attract the best man.
Yes, but best version is not just about being
internal. It's the internal feeling that man knows his self-worth and the woman knows her self-worth. Right. That creates a frequency of attraction to each other.
So what I'm saying is, right, it's way easier to teach what you're saying to women than to teach financial success, health, and to be this top 1% man.
No, because once you do the internal work, if you teach men to do the internal work,
right, but they still have to compete against each other, and not everybody's going to be a winner. This is the unfortunate reality. No. That's the unfortunate reality of being a man, right? There are a lot of guys who make a good income, but they're not fit. they're short, they're not this, and this, and women overlook them. All right.
Those women that overlook men because of the looks like that are the women who haven't done the internal work.
Right. Listen, the women who are not doing the internal work, at a woman's core, attraction, what she sees a man as, plus the things you guys have mentioned, the intangibles is what he can use to keep her. But he has to have these things at the forefront. If you could pick, okay, right,
Yeah.
everything you just told me about energy and all this thing, right? If you can get all that within a man,
yeah,
and you had one guy who was you were extremely attracted to, and a guy you weren't, that had the same energy with you, everything, which guy would you pick?
So if both men are bringing the same frequency of energy, success, and all that jazz,
which
so
guy would you pick?
Exactly equal. Well, then, if they're exactly equal, and I'm going to have to pick because they're exactly equal, you're going to go with the one that's got more benefits. And if luck is a benefit,
exactly, that's my point. You're going to pick. You're always. If everything else was equal, you would pick the guy.
Yeah,
you're
how
more
many times do you find men that come along that have all that shit and this amazing looks that you're on about? That's like a
that's why I say it's so why a man is the prize. That's my point. Exactly what I'm saying is why a man is the prize in a healthy relationship. Because for a man to have options, hear me out. One second. For a man to be a man that is desired by a lot of women, he has to be that guy.
But what's to every woman? Like I love, to me, an attractive man to me, right? I love bald with a beard. I like a hairy body, right? I like, and they don't even need to be like super. Like that's what turns me on, right? Give me a man who shaves, but to you might want the man who waxes his body. That's
physical attraction. Physical attraction
is subjective because that's dependent. So
no, attraction is very objective.
No, it isn't. It's different.
No.
Objective is based on facts.
Physically be attracted to different men.
No.
Like tattoos. I don't like,
Ladies,
like a man.
Let's stop the BS, right? This is why they have male models. This is why certain people are picked.
Fancy male models. I don't find male models attractive. I think it's
mass. Okay. To the mass. We're talking about objective is based on facts, not your feelings. Right? People who are objectively more attractive tend to get more options in terms of dating.
Okay, so you mean like to the majority?
If they're
the majority,
that's who we're talking to.
Yeah. Okay.
Are the majority marrying those people? Are the majority in a relationship with those type of people? No,
because those men get to pick.
Relationships are way more bigger than like just looks and the body and the fitness and the female model and stuff. So when it comes to real life, it's not only your looks, it's not only your ideal or conventional beauty that's gonna bring things into the table. You're gonna have like other 367 things you should have.
Guess what?
Like,
and guess what? Guess what human beings are gonna start with? What they find physically attractive.
Yeah.
And then if they have all those other things, then perfect. What I'm telling you is a lot of guys don't even get a chance to get to be this romantic, charming guy that can connect with you emotionally, all this nonsense, if you don't find him physically attractive. Right. This is his reality.
How many physically attractive is subjective. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying that on a vast majority, you have certain categories. Okay, so people who work out and keep up with their body, who eat good, got clear skin, they take care of themselves. Automatically, people look at them, even if they're not attracted to them, sexually, whatever, people look at them. Why? Because you look different than the average person, right? So in that sense, you are 100% correct. When you look better, your chances are 10 times higher. And that's facts. When I'm in the gym and dudes are trying to talk to me, I immediately know who I'm giving a chance to as soon as I look at them.
And what does that guy usually look like? Be brief.
That I'm going to talk to or not talk to? You
going to talk to
chocolate, like fried chocolate.
Okay, and what else?
I like.
Can he be chocolate and fat?
Okay. No, but he has to be slim. He has to
Okay,
be slim.
he has to be slim.
He don't gotta be
slim.
all, swole, but he gotta
Okay, he has to be in decent shape. He needs to have a low body fat percentage. Keep going.
How many of your men, so you coach men, right? How many men do you know who look like you, who are fit, attractive, stereotypically attractive, symmetrical, got the the suave going on? How many of them are happily married, insecure, happy marriages with kids and the nuclear family? Or how many of them are still going around clubs fucking loads of different women?
Yeah, you don't understand. Okay, this is gonna bring me. This is gonna bring me to my next topic, discussing what men value in a relationship and what women value. I have to use the bathroom real quick. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna play this real quick, and guys, I will be right.
Okay. How do I turn mine off?
Getting paid. Why you gotta be here?
Hi guys, we're back. I'm back.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm back. So what you just said lastly was a perfect pivot to what I want to discuss next. Good. You said, do the guys that are high value, that have options with women,
not necessarily high value, because high value to me is down to being secure internally. It's not about necessarily looks and muscles. It's about, has that man done the internal work? Does he know his blueprint? Does he know his attachment? Does he know his shit? Do you know what I mean? Does he know what traumas have set this? Does he know why? Has he got mummy issues? Do you know what I mean? Has he got daddy issues?
So this is
aware of them. That's a high value man to me, not a man who's got massive muscles and is smooth as a baby's bum. That's not necessarily high value. Yes, okay. If they bring me a man that's got all of that, well, that's flipping hell. Does he even exist?
I mean, there are plenty of guys. See, you just haven't found them. You're just not attracted to them.
Or you got to get the energy right.
Right. Exactly.
No, but seriously, I'm serious though.
So this is the thing.
I don't find like that's we're all that's I just don't find that attractive. But maybe that's because I'm not in that league neither. I'm not, stereotype. I think I'm attractive, but I'm not. So I know if I walked into a club and there was a bunch, I'm not going to be their type.
Okay, so the problem with that interpretation of high value is it's not what a lot of women would pick first. What you said is great.
No, it's I teach women that they need to start picking. I'm like, this is what you need to be looking for. This is a man that's going to stick the fuck around and isn't going to go for the youthful woman who's younger with the cute titties and the butt, and he's going to stick around and he's going to be there through the good.
This is the problem.
Times and the the downs is going to, because
listen to me.
Internal.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
You cannot change a man's nature. A man's nature is to pick.
Don't change him. Don't change him. The man that's like that, who's done the work and he's like that.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to settle.
You'd have to work on him. You want him to have especially if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 20s, it's going to be difficult because the younger. But as you get older, if the man's
guess
done,
what?
done this
Listen.
shit, like you said, they've got to go through traumas. But
Listen.
do they know they've been through traumas?
Listen. The man that you're describing that is more so energy is not going to be the man that can provide you with everything else usually. So that's the unfortunate reality with dating, right? If you get this man that has all of these, that matches with your energy, you are still a human. You're still going to want a guy that you're attracted to. And if you neglect the physical part, I'm not saying don't listen. I'm not saying listen.
When the feelings are there first.
Stop. Listen. I'm not saying neglect.
Making me sweaty, are you?
I'm not saying neglect the things that you value, but what I'm telling you is 9 times out of 10, when it comes to energy, you're gonna have to build a relationship with a man to get those things.
He's preaching. That's fact.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get a man that just walks with you, walks into your life, and just matches your energy, and then you just got
energy. I'm not talking about like the vibe of the room. I'm talking your body has a frequency. Your skin, your whole body, the cells of your body have an electrical pulse, right? And we attract energy, emotions, energy, emotion, right? And
but I think again, quantum physics and stuff is like
it's quantum physics. It's not.
Yeah, guess what? That's all great if you think he's an 8 or 9 or 10. That all that quantum physics shit starts to add. You start to feel the quantum physics a lot stronger when you find him attractive. But if he's a 4, or if you think he's a 5, I don't know how much quantum physics to get his ass in the door.
5, but yet provides me with my 6 primary love needs. Guess what? I'm going to find him fucking extremely attractive.
Pussy's not going to be wet.
It happens. That's why.
And I have a question for Bismarck as well. Like,
but okay,
I have a question.
Awesome. But Kate, guess what?
Do you think you're conventionally attractive?
Of course. Are you there?
Can you say you're like financial?
Are you there?
Huh?
That's cocky. That's very.
No,
how do I say this?
I'm being realistic. I obviously have a mirror. I can see myself, but I also know how women treat me.
That's my point. That's my point.
I know
for
how
me,
women treat
you're
me.
not.
Yeah,
I
but
know how women treat
you're
me.
not.
It's not.
But listen,
And for me, you're not. But for Kay, you are. So that's subjective, you know.
Listen. The majority of women treat me like I'm attractive. The majority of men need to treat you like a certain way for them to pick you. That's what I'm saying. You have to find yourself. You have to be a woman that you can attract a lot of men to attract the man that you want. You're not gonna just swift through and only pick. It's not gonna happen. You have to be what most men want to actually find the guy that you want.
Yes. Yep.
So if I understand,
so let's do a sample research. Let's do a sample research here. We're 3 girls, right? And then there are people in the comment section who are like willing to vote and stuff. So how many people here, like from the 3 of us, are willing to date Bismarck or find him attractive, and then apart from this, are willing to date him?
What's it apart from this? Apart from my look, how many women are ready to date me? Yeah, okay.
I don't understand that question.
That doesn't make any sense. Apart from
she's
my
saying
look,
basically how many, like she's saying that you're seriously attractive. How many women would want to date you?
But he is objectively attractive, so you can't take that away. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I don't find him objectively attractive, but I guess
that's your opinion, which is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see why? Here we go again. Right. Your subjective beliefs is not reality. Right.
It's her reality, though. It's her reality.
It's her reality, but that's
physics. We all live
she
in our
needs
own
to understand how life works to be more successful with men. Yeah. Right. If you're a guy, you need to make yourself objectively attractive to attract most women. Does that mean that he's going to be attractive to all women? No, but you need to be objectively attractive to all women to get a good amount of options from women.
Okay,
And
so
that's,
you
but
are
that's
you are
women
objectively,
too.
like, you are objectively attractive. That's, you know, we know that you're like we've said this, like, you know, it's obvious, right?
Mhm.
But so how many women have you had in your life that make you go, you know, this one's going to stick? How old are you now?
I'm 26.
Oh my God, you're a baby,
Oh
right?
wow.
Nah.
Yeah. And then he was really shaming me, you know.
Why are you
Look at
play in the field?
You're
Go back and talk to
What
me.
does this have to
I
do with
think
anything?
I think
the
I
knowledge
think
in
it
this
is a
room.
Okay,
very
so
Even
this is how I know. This is how I know my age doesn't matter, because it came to a shock to you.
right. And listen to what he's saying.
Right.
This is, I feel like, okay, and this is respectfully. I'm
No, I
saying
mean, in terms
no.
of
Listen,
so
hold on. I'm talking. You keep interrupting me.
Sorry.
Respectfully, no, respectfully, because I do agree with what a lot of what you're saying, but I don't think you're really listening to what he is saying. This is okay. The age to me doesn't matter, but this is a 26-year-old man sitting here putting you on game on how to get men from a man's point of view. So we think as women, and how we think and how we feel is completely different from a man, which is okay. But if you want a man and you're not a lesbian, listen to what a man who has experience is saying. This is how you get us. This is how you win us. So no, listen, you're not even listening to me. You're eager to talk. You need to listen to what he's saying. I'm not saying that you have to agree with everything, but you're here so that you can listen rather than just share your opinion.
I didn't think that. So what you just said about listening to a man, I've spent for the past 3 years listening to men, just not necessarily this man, because we've all got different, you know. I listen to a man called John Gray, like that's, so it's not a case of I don't agree, like it's not a case of not listening, it's just a case of it's not aligned. It's not aligned. So
But this is the thing.
Your perspective is not aligned.
It's
Your
just not
perspective
aligned,
is
is it?
not aligned with his perspective based
It's
off of
aligned with
what
other
you
men's. I don't go studying, watching loads of women and what women say. I do listen. I've researched and read and all those stuff from men, because I
Right.
knew that's where I was going wrong in my past, is the fact that I was coming into the perspective of a woman and I didn't know anything about men. And so I was like, right, I need to do something about that. And I did, just not necessarily listen to this guy. And it's not because necessarily he's wrong. It just doesn't fit inside my reality. That's
Okay,
all.
let me explain to you why. Right? It's because most of the information that women get is to coddle you and make you feel good about yourself. It's not so much to. So this is what I mentioned earlier was responsibility. If you watch any of my videos, right, I am the harshest on men. I don't make videos for women. I only do live streams with women to give y'all an insight on what men think, and to allow men to see the conversations I have with women. But I am the most harshest on men. I give men responsibility. I tell them that they have to do this, and this. I don't coddle men. I think the reason why a lot of women are not successful with men is because you're just told what you want to hear. You're not told, hey, calm down, listen, right? This is what most men are going to find attractive. Not so much what you think and this. It doesn't really matter what I think, right? A lot of guys that listen to me, it doesn't really matter what they think. If they don't become objectively attractive to most women, they won't get anything from women. And I'm telling women, hey, if you want to attract a high quality guy, because even more so for women, right? You guys are hardwired to pick the best man. If you want to attract this man without settling for any guy just because he tells you what you want to hear, there has to be some work done in terms of who you become, right? Because women don't have to become, you just be. And I'm saying a lot of men have to become, do everything that a woman has to do, right? Become this top percent guy to get any attention from women. Women don't have to do that. I'm saying your life is actually easier. Just be peaceful, listen to what men want, all right? And you have a lot more success with men. So it doesn't matter what one person thinks about me or what objective. That's my whole point. I don't really care what one guy says. It's the experiences I know most guys are having. Right? They might have one guy who watches my videos that sleeps with a bunch of girls. I get all the options, but most guys don't. And the reason is because most guys are not in the gym. They're not working on their fashion. They're not understanding women. They're not doing several things. So just because there's an outlier does not mean that I just completely neglect the majority. We're talking to the masses here. So as a woman, you need to understand what men want in general.
I get that. Can I just say that when I said about your age, it wasn't because I don't think that you know things because you're 26. What I mean is, when I was asking you about have you found that woman that stands out for you, you
Yeah.
know, at 26, you can still look because
That's
you're only in your 20s, is what I was saying. Not
no.
that your knowledge is any less because of your age. What I
This,
mean is, in the
this,
sense of what are you looking? Are you like, you know, what makes you go, what you said to me before, what makes that woman is the femininity is in her essence, is she makes you feel peaceful. Have
Mhm.
you found those women yet?
Yes, I have found.
So why didn't you marry her?
I get to pick when I want to get married.
That's
That's
what I'm saying, because you're 26, you still got time, you still got the time
right.
to do that.
But the fact that I have that leisure right now at a young age is because I have worked extremely hard to get to this point. And I'm telling you, a lot of men won't get to this point until later. Does not
Oh,
mean
yeah.
that they are less than, but I'm
If you
saying
ever get there,
right.
you know,
But a
you
lot
have
of men,
to.
a lot of men won't get to the position I am in right now at 26 until later. But they're gonna want the same things as me. They might not have the viewership to come on here and tell you this, and this, and this, but they're gonna get there eventually, right? But I was able to get there a little bit quicker because I just worked way harder, way sooner. So I have experienced a lot more, and I can give information. I've seen women who are not the best. I've seen women who are great. So I can tell women, hey, this is not what you want to do. Or men, hey, if you keep going on this path, you might not get what you want from women. I want women to win too. I think a lot of the perception is when guys that make this kind of content is to hate on women or to bring down women. No, I don't want to argue. I don't want to scream. Right? That's clear. But what I'm saying is, I want to give women as much responsibility to picking the best man. And I think if you want to get the best man for you, right, there's a lot of things that you have to change. For example, there are guys who think, hey, Fit, I don't have to dress as well as you. I can just be a regular Joe and women should accept me for the way they are, for the way I am. I have this argument with guys and I'm telling them that they're delusional. If you don't become the best guy you can be, if you don't do this, and this, and give yourself every check mark and do all of this stuff, you won't get options with women. That's what I'm trying to bring to women. I'm saying, hey, if you don't become what most men want, you won't get the man that you want.
And it all boils down to just everybody becoming the best that they can possibly be. You gotta look the best you can be. You gotta dress the best you can be. You gotta learn and equip yourself with knowledge and smarter, stronger, wiser. You have to put the work in on yourself in order to manifest, attract, meet the right person, a high value person. You have to be a high value person in order to manifest that person.
Which absolutely great.
And you guys are literally saying the same thing, but just from a male perspective and a woman perspective. But you guys think differently because you're a woman, he's a man. But you guys are saying the same thing. You need to be your best self to receive the best man you can get.
Amen.
And don't think in a subjective manner.
He had to add that.
No, I'm just saying this is not just for her. I'm talking about with everything you deal with in life, because you're going to be faced with a harsh reality, right? If you're so engulfed with your personal beliefs and you can't step outside of yourself to understand what is objectively wanted by most men, you're going to struggle.
I don't think that's true, to be honest, because I have dated
You have
people
the leisure.
me, myself, and then looking after the person I wanted.
Is because you have the leisure to do that as a woman. A man doesn't have that leisure. A man doesn't, he doesn't get to sit back and say, it's what I want, and I'm still going to get the woman.
They did actually. The guys I dated are not the one with the 6-figure wage and then the 6 packs and then 6 feet tall. I mean, they were.
What happened? What happened to them? So okay.
We had a successful relationship while it lasted. What I'm saying
Let me
is,
ask you something.
Very subjective when it comes to
Okay, I want to know, what is your ideal man? What do you look for in a guy, or what is attraction?
I already said that, and then few minutes.
You don't see looks.
I what?
You don't see looks. Like what is attraction to you? Like if you have,
I don't have one exact ideal beauty type for me. It depends. I might find different type of people who looks different attractive to me. So it's
I
very
can guarantee you that if I looked at your last 3 boyfriends or your last 3 relations, I guarantee you that they somewhat look similar. Guarantee. You can pull them up right now if you want to disagree with me. I guarantee you.
one was Ethiopian, very dark skinned, with an nappy hair, with a big
Mhm.
like our type of nose and stuff. The other was British, looking nothing similar to that one. And then
Mhm.
the other one was Albanian, a fat, short, and with all body hair and stuff. So I wouldn't say they don't look similar for sure.
Okay. So what is your consistent metric of picking these men?
It's a feeling.
No, that's
Uh,
nonsense.
It's
That's a
a
bunch of
okay,
nonsense.
feeling.
That is
as I
nonsense.
told
She's
you earlier,
picking something. Go ahead. I'm listening. Mhm.
the conversation I want to have with people, like the type of conversations. I like to have deep conversations regarding politics, regarding human existence, regarding psychology, philosophy, and stuff. One is that a lot, how do I say, yeah, to talk about or stuff, or similar interests to talk about. One. The other
Mhm.
one, having kind of a similar stance in life and the way we perceive things, not very similar, but somehow like, for instance, me and you, I feel like we have a very different type of approach in life or
Mhm.
perception of the reality. So not men like you for sure. The other one
Okay.
is, yeah, yeah, there are things regarding equality, regarding feminism, regarding racism and stuff. Sense of humor, I do see sense of humor, loyalty, honesty, loving me having feelings for that person too. Yeah, these things.
So are you on dating apps? Do you use dating apps?
No,
Okay. Do you go to clubs? Is
no.
that like where did you meet these men, these last 3 guys?
One in school, the
Mhm.
other one when I was working in my
Mhm.
workplace, and then the other one in a bar.
And they all came up to you, right?
Not really, because the other one was kind of a friend. The first one, he was a friend.
Okay.
We were in a similar friend group. Yeah,
Okay. So how many of the last 3 guys, how many of them came up to you?
came up to me in a what way? Like approaching
Like
me.
who initiated what and when?
I would say no one initiated like specifically, but I would say one asked me out, the other one asked him out, and then the other one it just happened. Yeah,
Okay, so one asked you out, right? Which one? Which
yeah,
one asked you out?
the first one.
Okay,
Like
which
from
one
the
did
three,
you
the
ask
first
out?
one from me to the
Which
guy.
one
Yeah,
did you ask out?
the second one.
And what did the second one look like?
Um, British
Okay.
and Maltese half. If you know a country called Malta.
Okay. So was that the first time you met him that you asked him out, or did you know him for a
No,
little
no.
while?
Yeah, I would say for a little while,
How long?
a month or two, I'd say.
And in that month or two, what was going on? Where did you meet him? Like, was it like you guys were talking? I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure out.
ah,
What?
he owns a bar. I went to his bar with my friend, and
Uh-huh.
then he saw me earlier, and then we talked about that. Apparently, earlier we bumped into each other on the road and
Uh-huh.
stuff, and he knows about Ethiopia, and then he was interested, and he was talking to me about it, and then there were other things I was interested about too that he likes and stuff. So we had those conversations.
So where did you get this thing you just told me, this meaningful, deep conversations? You didn't have that with this guy. So that you just ruled that out the window. So what made you approach him?
What made me up? What?
What made you approach this guy? Because you told me you pick a guy. I remember everything you said. You pick a guy,
Yeah,
right? Because you want to have deep conversations. You want to do this, and this. But you didn't have that
yeah.
with this guy. So why did you approach him?
Exactly. The first day we met, and then he owns a bar. We went to his bar, and then earlier I bumped into him on the road, on the streets, and then stuff. And we
Uh-huh.
started talking. And after that, me and his friends and my friends went out, and then we grabbed some drinks. And then also after that, we were texting and stuff. So we already had those conversations as just people who know each other, you know.
So you guys were talking about feminism and stuff for a month before you guys started dating.
Yeah, I do that. I am a type of person who has a long conversation with only like might be a person I met like an hour ago. Yeah.
So he did
I
that
tend
for
to
a
have
month.
deep conversations.
So you had a deep conversation with him for a month before you guys had sex.
Yeah.
So in a month, he was just talking to you about everything you wanted before it escalated to sex. I'm trying to put all this information together.
Sure.
No, tell me what in this month, what exactly happened? Was it him flirting with you? You flirting? How did it get to the point where you guys were having intercourse? How did that happen?
Okay. So we were talking, right? We were hanging
Mhm.
out repeatedly and frequently, but then we weren't exactly looking for a relationship, both of us. So it's not like
Mhm.
we were flirting or trying to get into a relationship and stuff. So we were talking, having conversations, hanging out, and then meeting with friends and stuff. And one day we kissed. And after that, we had the conversation. And I said, I like you. You're a good guy, you know. I want to give it a shot and see where this goes.
Mm. So you don't think that the fact that he was stable and on the bar was part of why you even allowed a conversation to start with him?
He being stable, what? That's what made me to ask him out. Are you saying that?
No. Before you guys even started talking, do you not put together that maybe because he was stable and on the bar was why you even started talking to him in the first place?
Stable on the bar, like
He
how?
owned the bar. He owns the
Stable,
bar.
like he has money and he would be able
He
to.
was
Oh
stable.
no, that wasn't actually. He was such a hippie, actually. That wasn't the
No.
point,
I
really.
see what he's trying to say. I see what you're trying to say. Basically, what he's trying to say is that it literally is in our DNA as women to spot out men who, and this is a subconscious thing that we do. Subconsciously, we see, can this man provide and take care of me? Can he provide, take care of me, and keep me safe? We subconsciously process these things. So
Question. Hmm.
he's saying that basically him owning the bar played a role in why you even spoke to him, and you're like, no, that's not the reason. And we say this because we don't want to sound like a gold digger, but the
No,
fact of the
no,
matter
no.
is, no, hold on. I'm not saying you, I'm saying women in
Yeah,
general. I'm not saying
I
you,
understand.
I'm saying women in general. Women in general say, no, I would never want to use it for his money, because they don't want to sound like a gold digger. But the fact of the matter is that women, when they scan men, we look at these things to see, can he provide? Can he keep me safe? Can he, is he stable? Does he know how to handle his finances? Because if not, I mean, shit, why would I bring that into my life? You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Yeah.
subconscious thing that we do as women. That's what he's
Uh,
saying. You subconsciously did that.
good point. Again, as you said, maybe it's true for some people, but in my case, he used to own a family bar, and then he wasn't even working all the time. Like he takes like long vacations, and then finish his savings, and then come back to work, and then he lives this hippie rasta life. So I wouldn't say it's because of his money, but again, if some people feels like money is their requirement when it comes to dating, they can. If they want to be a trophy wife, they can, but not in my case. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah.
What I'm trying to say is this is listen to me, right? The vacations, all this stuff that he has, he can only do that if he has financial stability. Part of that was the reason why you guys even started a conversation. If he didn't own the bar, you would have never seen him again. Wasn't it the same bar you guys kept frequenting to meet up and hang out and talk with friends? Yes or no? Are you there?
No. Yeah.
So the bar that you met him at, was it not the same bar that you said you guys were always hanging out with friends at?
And no, really. We did hang out sometimes there, but there's
Uh-huh.
another place where all of our friends likes to hang out. So
Okay.
it was
And the first day he got your number, right? The first day he got your number because you guys bumped into each other was at the bar, right?
I think so. I don't quite remember, but yeah, probably.
And before that, you already knew that he owned the bar.
I didn't actually.
So you gave him your number and were just talking to him before you knew he owned the bar.
Yeah.
And then you talked to him for a month and then you realized he owned the bar.
No, not for months. I knew that after some time. I don't remember, but wasn't on the first day.
Okay. So your mating strategy is whichever guy that can stimulate you mentally. That's what you're telling me.
Okay.
I'm asking.
What?
You're saying that the guy it's the only guy that can stimulate you mentally through conversation is the guy that you're gonna date, right?
Yes, I would say that.
Okay. Have you ever had a one night stand? A guy you just slept with one night?
Yeah.
Okay. And a guy you had a one night stand with, how did you build this stimulation for?
I wasn't looking for that. I just wanted a hookup.
And the guy you had a hookup with, did you find him attractive?
I would say that.
Exactly. So you no. This is my point. All right. So you do pick. So no. Let's slow down. That's why I ask you all these questions to figure out. So the guy you had the hookup with, all right? What happened after the hookup?
Nothing.
So you gave yourself to a guy. You gave yourself to a guy, even if it's once, based on physical attraction. And then you come around and say, I only date guys that stimulate me mentally. That's not correct.
Exactly. Dating and hooking up is different. Dating
No,
and
that's not how I meant it. No. Oh, no. That's not how meant to get. No. See, that's my point. For that guy that you slept with, that you gave, he didn't put any work into in terms of talking to you for a month. He still was a guy that you found physically attractive. That's not how men see dating. Men, we don't look at dating. Oh, some guys you get to just fuck one day, and the rest of us you're gonna make us wait 3 months. That's not how that's not equal for men. Men would rather be the guy that you just fuck because you find physically attractive.
Okay, that's very not right for me. When you sleep with a person, you're just offering something physical there. When you're dating, you offer so much. You offer support. You
That's
offer,
not
I'm
me.
here to listen. There's a no. For you, maybe you see women as just a sex object or something.
No, sweetheart.
related
You just got
physically.
that wrong.
It's much more from
You
that.
just proved my point.
I feel like this podcast is about my dating life. Guys, let's talk about something else.
I'm just showing you how you prove my point. This is how you prove my point. You still have had sex with a guy that you found physically attractive, right? And then there's a different set of rules for maybe the guys that you're not so attracted to. The guy that you slept with that first night, what did he look like? Can you describe him to me?
Yeah, sure. Should I start from the good ones or the bad ones?
What did he look like?
He is a West African, so a typical kind of West African body, tall, dark skinned, overweight, I would say a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, basically that.
But you chose to sleep with him because he did what? What exactly about him?
Nothing, because I wanted to have a
Why
random
him?
sexual intercourse.
Why him?
Not because of him. Because
Why
he was
him?
the one. Because he was the one who was available at that point for me. Who I found available.
Exactly. So as a woman, you can just go out in public and get any guy to fuck you. But him specifically, you wanted him to fuck you. Why? Why specifically him? What about the thing? Was it because he was tall? Was it because he was charming?
The other people I met, so I have a small circle. I wouldn't say I have a lot of, how do I say, people to interact with. I live in Italy. I don't speak Italian, so I wouldn't say I have a bigger circle to interact with. and then he wasn't. He speaks English. The other ones are either my friends or classmates and stuff, people I care about more, than the guy. I
So
wouldn't mind.
there was more physical things that you liked than mental things. That's what you're saying.
I would say it's most of the opportunity, not about the guy. It was about using the opportunity, not about him.
The opportunity, women don't do that. Women don't just go fuck a random guy. There was something built up, right? Have you been seen? Was that the first day you seen them? Like, there's no way that women just. It's either you guys were in the same environment. Were you guys in the same environment?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he charming? Was he flirtatious with you?
I'm trying to remember. He's a typical normal person, I would say. Yeah.
So he had never spoken to you before.
He did.
Okay. So you found something about him, either his charisma, something about him was charming for you to just want to fuck. And what I'm telling you is this. This is how men disqualify women, right? Because a lot of women make these same decisions, these same physical or not something so serious, right? And then the rest of the guys you make wait a month, so and so and so and so and so. Guys don't want to do that. That's not an equal trade, because that guy that you gave your body to that one night, you gave the same body to the guys that made that you made wait a month. Emotionally for you might have been different. That's not how men see it. For you, emotionally for you, it might have been something more with those guys. But that's not. No, sweetheart. If there's no man on this planet that you there's no man on this planet that you said, this chick right here fucked the dude the first night, but you gotta wait a month and he's gonna be okay with it. That's not. I don't give a fuck what he said. He wants the same deal.
Actually, words of the guy that guy I dated, he said he would wait as much as like I wanted him to wait, and then we can have sex. I actually offered the sex, wouldn't even the guy that I was dating. So yeah. And I would say it's not just your physical thing that you bring to the table. When you're a girlfriend, when you're dating, you bring so much more support.
That is dating.
And a lot of
that is dating, but I'm talking about initial. This is why body count matters to men, because women pick the men that they want to go fuck fast and have a good time with, and then there are some guys that you want to have something more meaningful with. That's not fair to men, because what men value is your purity. We value that you don't share yourself with other men. And then it's going to be even worse for him if he has to wait even longer than another guy. That is, every single guy will tell you, if he's honest and is not a liar, will tell you that it's not a good deal for him. He wants to.
So I have a question. With you saying that, how long in the dating period should a woman have sex with a man?
I don't think there's a specific amount of time. If she pursues something with him after. What I think a lot of modern women do is they have sex. So what I think a lot of modern women do is they have sex with a guy they find attractive, right? Just off of pure looks, physical attraction.
Right.
But they don't pursue anything else with him. They just kind of, whatever, another dick. Right. What women at your core, right? If you give yourself to somebody, if you open your legs to a guy, you just gave him part of who you are, you should want something more from him. Right. This is not a broken woman, no, right? But a woman who is in her essence will not just want to fuck random dudes and never hear from them again.
Right.
So if you do have sex with a guy, I don't think there's a specific date that you need to wait. Just if you do give yourself to this guy, make sure you at least try to pursue something with him.
But the thing is, so I noticed that the thing is this: when there's no sex involved, right? A woman is thinking clearly before sex, and a man isn't. And then after sex, a woman isn't thinking clearly, and a man is.
And that's why it doesn't matter when you give him sex. Because why don't you just figure out if he's not the guy? Let me tell you something right now. My last girlfriend I had sex with her first night, and I dated her for 2 years.
Okay.
It does not matter
because a man already knows.
No, it does. You can make this motherfucker wait 3 years. If his plan was to waste your time, he will play along and waste your time. I'm saying what makes a woman a thought, a hoe, is if you just fuck a dude. And then you say, oh, whatever. If I don't ever hear from him again, I'll never hear from him again.
Right.
That's when I say, okay, now you just gave yourself to a man and you're not gonna at least pursue something with him. That tells me that you're doing this a lot frequently. And sex is no longer emotional.
Okay, are you saying woman offers or brings to the table more when it comes to sex? Are you saying that?
No, I'm saying women look at sex more
So
emotionally.
for a woman randomly having sex with a guy and for a guy randomly having sex with me, why does it has to be me giving something so precious of me
Okay,
and then
I'm
him just
explaining to you. I'm
Are you saying
explaining to
it's
you. No. I'm explaining to you because as a woman, there's far more risk for you when you have sex. This is why, for centuries, women had always been selective with the men they had sex with. There's chance of pregnancy. There's chance of having a child with a man that can't take care of your kids. There are risks involved when you have sex, and you need somebody to raise.
Exact answer for your first question. Remember when you were like 1 out of 3 men or 3 out of some men don't get laid and stuff? This what you literally said is the answer for it. Because earlier you were asking why they're not getting laid and
I'm
stuff.
telling you that only a certain group of men are getting the sex, that most men are not. So women are still picking the guy they find the most attractive, the guy who's stable, the guy who has all of these things, but it's only a specific group of men. The average guy is not getting anything.
Because if there's pregnancy, as you said, maybe the woman wants to make sure that he's going to provide for her kids. Maybe
That's why women are sleeping with top.
As you said earlier.
That's why women are sleeping with higher quality guys. You're giving sex easily to the top 1% guys. That might not be the guys that want to raise a family with you, but they check off all these boxes as a suitable mate, opposed to an average guy that you don't really, you will hope you rather get better. That's what I'm saying. So
okay, what I'm saying, okay, sex is not such a big deal that you have to give for a man and stuff. For me,
men think that about women.
Not all men. It's hard. Again, generalization. You're talking for 4 billion.
Go ahead, Kate. 1 second. Go ahead, Kate.
Sorry. Thanks. It's been a fascinating conversation. I've super enjoyed it. Thank you for the invite. I really got to go. I didn't think I was going to be on this long. Let me just throw one question at you. The future debate. I wanted to know where the question. So we've got: is a man upgrading or downgrading by dating you? How did that question come about?
That was me. I just asked that question.
Yeah, no, but as in, like, where did that? What was? Where did that?
Because every relationship there is a value base, right? It's a value exchange. Is somebody going to get more value from dealing with you or less value? So is the modern man going to upgrade his life by dating you, or is he going to downgrade his life by dating? Because there are a lot of women that he could date and his life can be downgraded. So that's my question.
Okay, right. Okay. I was just seeing if it would stem from somewhere else, or if it come from like a series of something. But it was just a question. Okay, right. Thank you so much. I've got to go.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna be done really quick. But back to you, Miss Ethiopia. The way men look at sex, from women is we understand the dangers that we know that women are more selective in terms of who they pick. Right. So when we deal with women who have given themselves to plenty of partners, you lose value in our eyes because we know sex for you is not something that is hard work for you to get.
Okay,
a
for
relationship and commitment.
I'm telling you it is, and then you're a guy, but you're saying it is not. So I think it's a bit confusing because I am the woman and I'm telling you that, but you're saying no. You're saying you know better than me about being a woman.
Can you say what you said again? You were breaking up.
Okay, sorry. What I was saying is like all this conversation you were saying this is how man thinks, this is how modern man thinks, and then stuff. And then we were listening to you thinking you know better because you're a man, right? And I am saying this is what a woman thinks, and then you're saying no, but I am the woman here, and then it will be a big condescending.
I'm telling you,
assume, you know. And then I'm here telling you from a woman's perspective, actually.
Listen to me. This is how I know what you're saying is incorrect. Because women are selective in who they have sex with. Men will fuck anything. If a man had a chance, he would fuck anything. Women are
Fair.
the ones.
That's
Okay,
very sad, by the way. Yeah.
women are the ones who are selective about sex.
Mhm.
I'm going off of what women do. Women are selective about who they sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
There is a mating criteria for who you open your legs to. So we understand that you're not giving sex to everybody, or you shouldn't be. So that's why we value women who have not given their bodies to every guy, because we understand that it's not something difficult for you to just have sex, but a commitment, marriage, all of this stuff is something that is a little bit more challenging for you to get.
Mm-hmm.
That's why women are selective. That's why you are selective.
Okay. So my point will be, if I want to have sex with a guy,
Mhm.
won't me choosing to do that enough? Like, why do I have to be selective? Tell me. Apart from my choice and preference to do it. As you
Because
said, maybe it's because of contraception, or like maybe you will get pregnant, or you will get STDs and stuff. So have a protected sex.
mhm.
So what's exactly your point?
Let's- yeah, the more you give yourself to a man, right? The more trauma you accumulate, the more men you sleep with, the less you're able to pair bond. This is a statistic. The more than 5 men that a woman sleeps with, it becomes significantly harder for you to pair bond. Pair bond mean you stay with one man. The more men you've given yourself to, the harder it is for you to stay in a marriage.
And for a man, how does
Because
that exactly work?
it is not the same. Because men, we have to build our value to get sex. That's my point.
So you're saying we make a bond or a parent stuff, but that comes only from a woman having lower body counts, but the man, he can sleep with 1,000 women, but when he comes, he can actually build the good bond or relationship.
Yes, I'm gonna explain to you why. Because a man has to build himself up to be a man that is attractive to most women to get any woman. A woman just has to go outside and say, "Who wants to fuck?" And you will get a line of men who will willingly fuck you. That's the point.
Okay.
So if you're a guy, for you to get sex, this is why I was saying 1 out of 3 men are only getting laid. It's only a certain percentage of those men that are getting sex.
Okay, good.
But
Another point would be, okay, you finish, please.
so
Sorry for
because
interrupting.
only a certain group of men are having sex, those men have similar qualities that a lot of women desire. Those men are the most desirable men. The average man is not getting sex because women are selective, because you are picking the best guys. So for a man to become that guy, he has to bust his ass to become a top 1% guy. For a woman, sex is not something that you need to work hard for, go to school, you don't gotta do none of that to get a man to fuck you. A man does. So we understand that women are more selective for sex. That's why we value a woman's purity. And
Okay, good. And as you said, a successful man and extremely, successful guy and stuff, but they can't get the girls they want to sleep with, right?
no. The successful guys get the most of the girls. They get the
Most of the
majority.
girls. So they can sleep with the majority of women, right? Or
Yes. Mhm.
okay, so what's the
Only
difference for you with a successful guy sleeping over sleep? For instance, let me ask you: do you do like random hookups, or do you fuck around and so? Or have you in the past, like
yes, I have done it. Yeah.
you did, like your body count is around like
It's more than average for me to
more than
understand women.
okay.
Right.
You, the successful guy, and who slept with like lots of women, and another woman who slept with more than average body count or stuff. Are
Mhm.
you saying you can't build a good bond or stuff or a pair of bond? The thing you
I'm
said
explaining to you why.
similarly,
Right. I'm explaining to
the
you why.
numbers are similar. The numbers are similar. Let's say I slept with 30 men, and then let's say you slept with 30 women. But when we
Mhm.
come to marriage and then try to build our bond with the other person, are you saying we can't build similar bonds?
No, this is why. Because for a man to sleep with 30 women, he has to become this spectacular man. But for a woman to sleep with 30 men, it's not an accomplishment. You're accumulating a lot of trauma. A man, the better he becomes as a man, he has now more opportunities in women. He can now vet women properly. A woman, you don't have to build yourself as a woman to become a catch. You don't have to go accomplish the work, conquer the world to become something that men want. You just have to be peaceful, feminine, and nurturing. So you don't have to accumulate this trauma to be attracted to men. But when you do, and you have all of these men's DNA in you, right? And you as a woman, you want to reproduce with the best guy, it becomes significantly harder for you to do that because you're now comparing every single guy you've been with every guy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need trauma to become a feminine, nurturing woman.
Okay.
A man does.
What if it wasn't traumatic? What if I slept with guys like you know, successfully, conventionally pretty, and then who upgraded my life into something better?
And
What about that?
and then men will not value you.
Even though I
Then
don't
you're- have
have any trauma, even though I did it with guys who are
How you know you're not
extremely.
gonna have any trauma? There's no way in the world a woman can just open her legs to 30 men and you want nothing from those men. You just want to. That's not how women are hardwired. That's not how women are desired. Are not created. You're not created to just open your legs and just fuck. You're trying to. The purpose of sex, right? Men have sex to reproduce. We want to get our seed out there as much as possible. A woman has sex so you can reproduce with the best mate. This is why
Okay, I have a
kings-
question. You have kids?
no.
Did you wanted to have kids with your exes?
No. But in the future, I
And then,
want to
so
have kids.
your point of having sex is exactly for what? If you're not procreating and stuff, why are you having sex
You're
in the
not
first place?
understanding.
That was the point of
For
sex.
a man, our goal is to spread our seed. We want to
But
have
you
as
know
much
you're not
sex-
gonna because you don't want kids. You're actually having a protected sex and stuff, right?
Okay, our man wants to conquer. This is why sex is not as emotional for us. It's the goal is to conquer. We know we have to become something that women desire to get sex. It's more about conquering than anything else. For a woman, it's about reproducing with the best guy. This is why kings, sultans, emperors had a queen and many concubines. Promiscuity in women has always been shamed, has always been frowned upon because there's no advantage. There's nothing good that comes from you giving yourself to a lot of men. Your
But
value doesn't
nowadays,
increase.
when we have sex with birth control and stuff, we still
Birth
keep these
control is
things in mind,
ruining you
right?
as a woman. It's ruining who you are. Like who you are as a woman, birth control is ruining that.
So you're against birth controls too.
Of course, no woman should be no. I
Okay,
don't
but
believe
when
in
you
birth
have
control.
sex with your exes, you don't use any form of
I
birth
use a
control.
condom, but I don't think she should be taking things that alternate her hormones. Fuck no.
Yeah, but then you use protection, right?
I use protection. I use a condom.
Okay, so both of you guys are having sex. She knows you're using protection, so she's not like taking the seats of the strongest or the tallest and then the
No,
conqueror.
she's
She knows that because she's not getting your kids or your children, and then you know that. So when it comes to the point where you do it for fun, you do it for pleasure,
no,
not to reproduce or
that's why that's wrong. That's why that's wrong. Because a woman in her feminine, right? If you give yourself to a guy, what did you guys all mention about what a man that you like is? Confident, ambitious, all of these things that you want from a man. You're naturally gonna want something more with this man. You're not gonna just fuck this dude. That's why Ethiopia, you were talking to these guys for a month to get stimulated mentally before you had sex because you want something outside of sex naturally. And I'm telling you, for men, sex is not that emotional for us.
it is not that emotional for me as well. That's why
Well,
I kept telling you, your exes literally had sex with you, but it wasn't for something more because they don't have your kids
no. Every
now,
girl that
because they don't have
no,
marriage with you now.
every girl, every time a woman has sex, there's a mating strategy. You see this guy as a possible mate, even if even if he might not check every single box. But women, this is why I say you guys are selective. You're not fucking every dude. You are picking certain guys because of certain qualities. This is why only a specific group of men are having sex. And those men tend to always share the same characteristics. They're confident, they look good, they're successful. There's more to sex that women want than just sex. This is what the reality is with women. So if you're having sex and you think you're just having sex for fun, I guarantee you there's still a mating strategy alongside that. You're still picking.
No,
You're,
I
you're
wouldn't
not
say
fucking every dude. You ain't fucking every dude. So you're still fucking a type of guy that does something for you. And I'm saying
that.
that's
And
not how
so
men
does
do sex.
you too, to be honest. That's what you're doing too. You're fucking around and then you're dating people just to see your potential met, right? Like
Do you
to see the
understand that a
potential
man
what.
will fuck a hole in the wall? Men will fuck anything.
That's
Yeah.
very sad, by the way. Please, that's very sad. Like, please get some decency, get some respect for yourself. Like,
Okay. Do you see why now? Do you see why now body
hole?
count?
Yeah, for a whole, I don't recommend people. Just
That's how little emotional we need from sex. That's what I mean. Sex is not emotional for us at all.
Mm-hmm.
But for a woman, yeah, you just said it. You get some self-respect. That's not meant. Sex is about conquering and spreading our seed. So we have
but
7
then
times
you
more
have
testosterone in women.
okay, sure.
This is why we have significant amounts more testosterone than women, because we need to have this drive to be. If men didn't have this drive, this world wouldn't be created. This is why men. That's why men have this much testosterone, because we know the better we become, if we create a world, we can have options with women. We can sleep with women. We get to reproduce. If men had the same amount of testosterone as women, there wouldn't be shit built. Women, there will be no world. But our horniness is what created the world. So you do have sex for a specific reason. You do have sex. You do pick a guy based on something. And that's why body count will matter to men, because we know it's something more selective for you. Every single guy you've ever liked or you've really been into, women turn into crazy people. This is just reality. I'm sorry. You build an attachment, an emotional attachment to the men you give yourself to. And if you keep giving yourself to this guy, that attachment grows.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same for men. Do you or do you not like a guy more the more you fuck him?
That's right.
You don't like a guy more, Ethiopia, the more you fuck him.
I would. Is he good or not? It depends.
This is the problem. This is the problem. How many? What is your body count? What would you mind sharing what your body count is?
No, that's a secret. I'm kidding.
Okay. It matters. If it didn't matter, it wouldn't be a secret. Now,
No, it
the
doesn't
fact,
actually. I'm still counting. It takes a lot, a lot of time.
and I say body count, I mean the men you've given yourself to, not how many times you had sex. How many men have you had sex with?
I'm trying to remember.
So it's more
I'm
than
kidding.
how many? Be honest.
5. Yeah,
So
sure. 5.
including everything.
Yeah, sure.
One night stands, guys who came quick, everything. Not excluding anything.
Yeah, including a very bad hookups too. Yeah, terrible hookup as well.
And it's all been 5.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of
Okay.
nerd, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So now, do you see your statement that you just made? Is he good? Sex.
Which one?
I asked you if you have sex with a guy. The more you have sex with him, do you or do you not like him? And you said, is he good? Right. So sex has become more of an act to you than an emotional thing, because you've already been with 5 guys at 24. Your pair bonding is already. I told you the magic number is 5. The moment a girl sleeps with 5 guys, her pair bonding significantly decreases, because now you're comparing him with every single guy.
Mm.
That's why men care about body count. If it was 1, there wouldn't be much. It would be more sentimental for you. It would be less comparing dicks and sizes and all this stuff. It would be more about how you feel about the guy.
The thing is, I feel like this is a very deep concept that needs a lot of hours to discuss and stuff. And I tried to make my points and then ask you questions, but it wasn't going anywhere, because we have our own beliefs. As
Mhm.
as I said, bond pairing or like having this relationship with a person should be contributed from both sides. But from your perspective, for a guy, maybe sex is apparently nothing. It's just spreading your semen seeds and stuff, which is a bit weird because when you're actually having protected sex, you're not doing that, but you're doing it anyway. So it's like kind of for your pleasure. But then, I mean, we're entitled to our opinions. So yeah.
Okay.
I think what I think I think that the problem is that by nature we're designed a certain way, right? So emotionless sex for women is not really natural for us. When we have sex with a man, we most of the time we attach ourselves to him, or we become more emotionally attached. So the issue is that nowadays so many women are too masculine, because the masculine can have sex with a whole bunch of women and not get attached and not have feelings and not be emotionally invested. But a woman, it is literally natural for us to become emotionally invested into a man once we give our bodies to him. So, not saying that it's just you, but women in general are too masculine these days to where they think it's okay to just go out and fuck, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever amount of men just because they want to fuck, and then not realizing that that comes with consequences, such as like you was saying, the traumas.
So this is the thing. This is another thing I want to mention, right? So the reason why men are not so emotional with our sex is because we're emotional with our resources.
That's fact.
A man's loyalty is not in who he fucks. It's the woman he's willing to die for and protect for.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why you see men, right? They don't want to go on so many dates without having sex, or you having sex with another guy is so painful to another man. Like it's because he has invested in you. The more we put into because our resources is what we have to earn.
Yeah.
Right. Your purity is your value. Our resources we have to earn. So we all have two different sets of value. Right. A man has to go out and get his value. He has to go and get resources that he has to work and suffer for. A woman's purity is not supposed to be easily given out. So when we give and we invest in a woman, right, buy her stuff or stuff like this hurts a lot more to a man when this woman goes and sleeps with another man, opposed to us just fucking another girl. That's why I say a man's loyalty. I think women are very misled by thinking that the man, who he's willing to fuck, is who he loves. That is not. Hell no. If you are a woman, how you judge if a man loves you is what he does for you,
Right.
how invested he is into you, because he'll fuck anything.
Facts.
So a woman, the more you give yourself, right, your value decreases. This is why you ladies don't respect men that just buy you shit, right? That you haven't done nothing for. Women are notorious for this. You guys are rootless to men who they just offer you a bunch of shit. Are you not? If a man just comes up and is offering you to do you shit, you don't have no respect for him. Do you, Ethiopia?
Do I what? Like,
Do you
what's
respect men?
exactly your question?
Do you respect men that offer you resources without you doing anything for it? How do you view a guy that just comes up to you and say, "Hey, I want to buy you this, 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 and this"? Do you respect that man?
So a guy out of a good heart is doing some good things for me. Are you asking that?
No, a guy you just met and that you haven't done anything to get these good things. He's willing to buy all this shit for you. How do
So
you view this guy?
so he's actually being unconditionally generous for me. That's a good thing from my opinion.
No, girl.
He's looking like a trick right about now.
Exactly. He's looking like a trick that doesn't have any self-respect. You don't respect him as a man.
Okay.
So you're gonna act like You're gonna sit up here from an African nation and act like a man giving you shit that is just being come on. This is what I mean. Let's have integrity. You women don't respect men that just give them shit. Women don't. Because as a man, you have to earn these resources. That's how men look at women who just have unemotional sex for nothing. Like you're giving your value away without pursuing anything. Like a man should not be giving his resources away and getting nothing. A woman shouldn't be giving her body away and getting nothing. You shouldn't be exchanging sex for no protection, no resources, no commitment, or nothing. Like you shouldn't be doing that as a woman. It destroys you. A man shouldn't be giving his resources for nothing from the woman. We don't
First
respect
of all,
this.
it's hard to compare something like quantitative, like resources, like money, and a person's want and choices. You're comparing money and cars and a house with a woman's needs and desire for sex, which is weird, by the way, because it's not something quantitatively valuable. And second of all, that's something with a consent. When you give a money and a car or something, is like it's something non-living or materialistic. But then here, when you offer sex to a person or when you sleep with a person, you're actually going after the things you want. It's not like this is a value, my vagina is kind of a value, and then that your money is a value and stuff. This is attached to me. And then
both
I have
values.
So
They're
this is
both
the thing.
values, and the thing is that the way you're perceiving it. It seems like the way that you're perceiving it is okay. My vagina is equal to him spending money on me or buying me a house or whatever. It's not necessarily about a car or about a house. It's about the fact that you guys are exchanging things, right? So
exactly
he's going
leisure.
but listen, he's going and he's working so that he can provide these things that you want, so that you can have that security and that safety, right? And now what he wants in return is the peace, the sex, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say that it's a equal exchange in the terms of, you know what I'm saying, because obviously they're different, but it's an exchange. That's what he's saying, is that you have to exchange these things.
Ethiopia, right? The reason that we're all here, I keep referring back to this, right? We need to study human nature from a large scale. Let's not get clouded with the nonsense that's going on in today's world. How have humans operated from the beginning of time? When women had sex, right? How we all got here, how humanity formed, was a woman gave her body, gave her womb to the man that she felt could provide. And if they were to have children, he could help her raise those kids. She didn't just give her body to a guy and just, there was no contraception. There was no birth control. So birth control, all these things they're trying to rewire women, but all it's doing is just ruining you, because who you are as a woman is never going to change.
Right.
A man had to go and get resources to be desired by women. He had to show that he can provide. This is why we have so much testosterone. This is why men chase success and women chase love, because we know the more successful we become, we're now a suitable mate for most women. Mm-hmm. This is how we all got here. I'm hoping that my mom didn't fuck my dad because she just thought, no, I hope she had sex with him because she saw him as a guy that if they had kids, that they can have a family together.
Right.
I'm sure your parents thought the same thing. Right? Women since the beginning of time have always looked at sex this way. I create our family. I carry this womb, because think about this. When you're pregnant, you can't work. You're vulnerable, right? So when a woman gives herself to a man and she goes through this process, she's hoping that the man that she gave herself to can help protect her. That was the whole point of sex. And a man had to show that he was capable of doing these things before a woman could even see him as a guy that she would have sex with. So just because now we want to look at sex that, it's just, this is not how we got here. So, I mean, A lot of women are ruined by this because they look at sex very without emotion, right? Instead of looking at sex with, hey, I'm gonna be with a guy. If I'm gonna give myself to this guy, I want to make sure this is the guy that if we were to have children, I'm pursuing something with him, all right? We're gonna have a family. Birth control and contraception ruined that for you. So now you can
But
have
then
sex.
since I don't want a kid and I don't want to have children, so the point of the guy will be reduced. And then since I want to provide for myself, again, I don't have to be selective regarding who's gonna raise my kids with me or who's gonna provide for me because
Your
I don't
your
want
your
it.
hardwiring as a woman, your hardwiring as a woman is to not collect bodies, is to not collect sexual experiences from a bunch of men. This is who you are. You're not gonna be happy as a woman. The women
That
who have slept with the most.
that is not based on an empirical research, so I wouldn't
Yes,
say.
it is. I just explained to you. The moment a woman hits 5, her pair bonding abilities decrease significantly. It is significantly harder for you to stay with one man. So even if you don't want to have kids, the more guys you fuck, if you do decide you want to stay with one guy, it's going to be significantly harder for you to do so.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. But then, sure, you're entitled to your opinion. Again,
It's not an opinion. That's a fact. I mean, I could pull up the statistic if you want. Five partners. The moment a woman hits 5 partners, her pair bonding abilities decrease.
sure, let's keep believing that, I guess, for you.
I'm just telling you what it is. You want me to pull it up? You want me to research it
Yeah,
and
of
show you?
course. Yeah,
I
it
can
is
do
not.
that. Huh?
Because it is not, but sure, we'll do our own research and then talk about it. Sure.
I mean, I can. No, I'm saying I can literally search this right now and show you stats that as a woman
And
has more partners.
I can
What?
do the opposite research and then show you the fact too. So
What's the opposite of pair bonding? What is good? What is that gonna be? If you can't pair
no,
bond
what
with
I'm
that,
saying is it's not based on the amount of people you slept with and stuff that you're gonna stick with a partner. There are so many factors that are gonna contribute for that. So that's another big concept.
okay. So my
Anyways,
my whole goal, my whole goal my whole goal was to give women a perspective. I do this every single week. Now, ladies, let's end the show off. All right. What's one advice you have for men? And what's one thing you learned?
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
no, it's okay. Ace, go first.
Okay. I would say one piece of advice that I have for men. One piece of advice, damn, it's hard to sum it down to one piece. I would say to I would say to continue to learn women. Continue to learn and study how women operate. That way you can, again, just like what this podcast is doing, be what a woman desires. So that would be my piece of advice. And one thing that I learned from today's podcast, say I would say it was really nice to see how the other girl, what was her name?
Hey,
Kay. Yes, it was nice to see how two people, like, you guys were literally saying the same thing, but just in very different masculine and feminine perspectives. So it was nice to see, um, from a feminine and masculine point of view, how we operate in real time. So that was nice. But that's not something I learned. I'm sorry. Something that I learned was the 5 thing you said about the pair bonding. I didn't know that. So that was
awesome.
good information.
Uh, go ahead, Ethiopia. Ethiopia, go ahead.
Okay, one thing. Yeah. my advice will be for guys out there, listening to podcast or listening to other guys telling them how to be an alpha male or this guy, successful guy and stuff. You're way much bigger, or you have more value than the classy clothes you put on, or the money you just get from a corporate work, or the body you build in a gym and stuff. A person is way more than that. A person is way more than that, with a like the heart, the sympathy, all the good emotions we have, all the feelings, and then the caringness we have. Those should be the parts we should be focusing in a person than the outside looks and then the things we add in ourselves and stuff. So I feel like, guys, it's not because, maybe sadly that's the truth, like, because also women are told in that way, that you should get the successful guy, maybe the rich guy, so he would provide for you, or you don't have to work and stuff. But I feel like you're more than just a provider, just a workforce or stuff. You can contribute so much more into a marriage than just your body and the money. And also for other girls out there, to be honest, it's hard to give one advice, for everyone, but then just live your life. I might not go with the general agreed conventional laws and stuff, but people do have individualistic side as well, we're social creatures, but then we have our own essence as well. Pursue that side of you too. And this was a nice podcast, to be honest. I had a good conversation with you guys.
Awesome. So my advice to guys in total is that you have a masculine duty as a man. All right. You have a responsibility to take care of your family and to be the best guy you can be so you can have the options you want as a man. That includes how you look, how you dress, how you carry yourself, and everything else, right? So I'm not saying don't be emotionally intelligent. You still have to be able to connect and lead women. But please understand that the world is going to judge you in black and white as a man. Are you or are you not? And that's the unfortunate reality of being a man. We don't get the leisure of moving through life with our emotions and being accepted for it. So you have a masculine duty and you need to become the best man you can possibly be, or you will suffer. Like a lot of y'all are already suffering because you don't want to adapt. You don't want to be better. All right. If you decide to stay where you are and not become the best man you could be, women are still going to pick the best guys. And the sooner you can become that best guy, the majority of women, not every woman, the
We're
majority
gonna
of
choose
women.
you, for all the guys who are not doing this. I will be there, me and my friends. We're
Guess what?
choosing you.
The majority of women are still going to pick the men who check all the boxes. So you need to work to be that man. All right. I got one super chat, and that's Stephen O. Great conversation. I have a feeling this young lady will eventually buy a cat and die alone if she keeps this mindset. All right. I hope. Hey, I don't know.
I'm a dog person, but whatever,
Hey, it's okay. Well, guys, it was fun. You guys stay for a second. Y'all stay for a second. Guys, it was fun. See y'all next week. Probably see y'all Friday. And deuces. Peace.